tomorrow with everything we got.
Give them in 2 hours. You're going to wear them down. When that whistle goes, you're going to go together. No one left behind. No one making out I can't go so I can't breathe. My lungs are sore, my legs are bloody, and I'm bleeding. You get up and you go again and you go again. It's 2 hours.
And you must be desperate enough to stick with me and do it. At least do something! Do! Don't think, don't hope, do!
That's the side. September in Melbourne. Clear night now after some early cloud cover. Carlton Draft Friday night football. It's the second semi-final. And Wayne, history certainly favours the top 4.
It certainly does, but the Kangaroos will be here tonight wanting to change that history. They won't be thinking too much about what's gone before them. Their focus will be on changing that tonight.
Tough contract to come from 5th place, or rather 6th on the ladder after a hard-fought victory. That was most impressive last week. They virtually outstayed Essendon.
Well, they were they kicked 2 goals early in the 3rd quarter, so they were in a really ordinary game, the Kangaroos. But then they kicked the 3rd goal, 4th goal. All of a sudden, they were able to get over the top of Essendon. So they had a really good, come off a really good last quarter and a bit, the Kangaroos.
And Tommy, I've got to say, over the course of the season, you really have a great feel for the Cats. I mean, in terms of what you see tonight.
Very different lineup, Den, no doubt about that. They're 10 players under the age of 23, and Geelong really needs some people to come up, some players to come up and, I guess, take over the ownership and responsibility that's been left to Selwood, Bartel, Kelly, Enright, Taylor, these sorts of players. So, huge challenge for the young team.
Let's go down to Craig Willis with the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Australian Football League and our premier partner Toyota welcome you to the second semi-final here tonight, the MCG. Would you now please join with the coaches, players and umpires as we stand for the national anthem.
Game faces are on. The Twins. One running, one walking off the MCG. The umpires tonight, and congratulations to all of them, Nichols, Meredith and Pennell, as we await the toss of the coin. Commentators thinking deeply about their selections tonight. 3 plays 2. And the outrider, Tom's 21 points by the looks of things, and Riccio going narrow with just the 6 for the Cats tonight. So much to play for. Bruce has made the run up here. You did win.
I did. I'm just wondering when the Scott boys will get in that lift alongside one another and
shake hands, but it's been such a part. Selwood, well, when we got here tonight, there was a bit of a rumour going around that he mightn't be playing. That was quickly squashed. So Swallow and Selwood, similar types in some ways, aren't they? Joel probably will be All-Australian captain again. That hasn't been done since Mark Rasciuto about 7 or 8 years ago consecutively.
Andrew, what? George, over this side, please, mate. Okay, over this side, mate, please. Okay, Andrew, it's your call. Yep, Heads is a call. Yep, straight up. Heads it is, boys.
So North win the toss and kick to the left to screen. Let's go down and join Tim and Richo at boundary level.
Well, I think the Cats have still got some sting left in them. There's no doubt about that. Just watching Selwood, Bartel, Kelly, Enright warm up. They've got their game faces on, Richo. And I think the question tonight is, are enough of their teammates going to step up and follow their lead tonight?
Oh, absolutely, Timmy. Who's going to step up and help Tom Hawkins in that forward line? I think he needs to kick 3 or 4 goals. 3 is his career best in finals. He needs to do that at least tonight. He needs those half forwards. That's your caddies, Duncan, Motlop, these guys to come in and kick 2 goals each to take some pressure off him in that forward 50. I think he will have a big game tonight, Tom. I reckon he'll want to make amends for a quieter one last week.
And Lee, I would think that Kane Turner and Lincoln McCarthy would be pinching themselves about now, those youngsters, wide-eyed, out in the middle of the MCG.
Well, like sometimes when you're really young, you don't kind of know what it's all about enough, and that helps a little bit. Initially, Ben Brown, we see there, had a really good game last week. It's going to be much harder for him because he's going to either have Lonergan or Taylor or Rivers or Mackie, so he's going to have a very tough opponent.
Is this got a bearing at all, do you think, the fact that one team is so good in the first half and the other in the second?
I think, I mean, if you're looking just at those raw numbers, and if obviously the Kangaroos are down at half-time, that would be brought up for confidence. But North Melbourne starting to get the ledger right in the back half of the year with their first quarter, so shouldn't really play out, I wouldn't have thought.
So the captain's tossing the coin moments ago. I thought Swallow was terrific, inspirational last week, Wayne, late in the game.
Yeah, he was terrific. He's been good for the last couple of weeks. He senses a moment. He's in and under, just like the captain of Geelong.
So Driver's got Hawkins, so as an individual matchup.
But when it goes on, they go to Sydney. Opening bounce. Second semi-final is underway with the judgment. Goldstein knocked it down. Guthrie left it behind. Swallows over the football. Cunnington. Goldstein kicks inside the forward 50. Can they get the fast start? Petrie, who got the big finish in bold. Free kick played Thomas. Open goal. How's that for a start? Oh, wow.
The interesting part there, it was Todd Goldstein who got the centre clearance. A lot of talk's been that Mark Blitzarves, the young Geelong ruckman, will work away from the stoppage, but we just see it there. And I mean, doesn't matter how experienced you are as a player. You see Taylor Lonergan involved there. If the ball comes in quickly early in a final, you feel the pinch as a defender.
It was clean, wasn't it, out of the middle of the ground? 2 quick handballs and onto the ruckman. And the fact that he put himself in that position, Tom, that's fantastic.
Yep. Great little tap on, I think, by Ben Brown, just to keep the ball running and moving forward into your forward 50, which enabled Lindsay Thomas to run. It's going to be important, Lindsay Thomas. I doubt the big forwards are going to do much or kick many goals, so Thomas has to be busy.
So North, 11 of the last 12 matches they've played, they've kicked the opening goal, and Thomas coincidentally got the opening goal down at Geelong earlier this season. So 3 last week to break his duck in final, so good start for him. Mackie off half-back. Brown worked underneath, back on the team tonight. Gibson to Swallow. Swallow retreating. Back to Grimer, who's got the job on Hawkins to start with. Back to Wright. Wright, so important last week with that intercept mark that sort of got them going. Taylor and Brown. What a difference in experience there. Taylor belting the ball back to half forward. Brown couldn't quite. And then high tackle.
North Melbourne.
The trade-off for the Grimer-Hawkins matchup is Scott Thompson, who's going to receive the ball uncontested here. He's playing on Mitch Brown now. Mitch Brown's got a huge job to draw the footy, make Thompson accountable.
Thompson going around the outer side, got it from McDonald. Goldstein, he's been active inside the forward 50. Oh, clash in mid-air, that was terrific. Greenwood came hard, Selwood didn't budge. Comes across the ground. Brown, how will this bounce for him? Okay. He's got the ball, the defensive side of the wing. Sends it down towards half forward. Coming hard is Caddy. Wants to give it off. Now lays it off into the path of Duncan. The dangerous Duncan runs inside the 50. The Cat lines up, and he's got the cream. Oh, how's that? End-to-end stuff.
And you expect nothing less than Joel Selwood to drop back into the hole and take a courageous mark, and then took the risk and put it out into space. And as you said, Lee, that's what they'll be doing tonight.
He's got a great goal-kicking record against the Kangaroos, Duncan. 13 in 8 games now. Much above his career average, so 100th game tonight. It's a fast start here.
Come off the line there really strongly too there, Mitch Duncan. He looks early stages to have really set himself for an influential game tonight.
Del Santo, Harvey, Gibson, good hands. Quick kick by McMillan, a bit of an up and under. Black, who's been a bit quiet. Taylor, almost robbed. Del Santo and Taylor. Ball getting out the back. Brown goes to ground. Taylor, clever handball. Gibson, Atley. They retreat. Turner switches, gets to World. So influential last week. Thompson likes to take them on. Back to Worlds, has to backtrack. Doesn't panic. Grubby old kick, not going very far. Attacking hard was Thurlow. Well done, Goldstein. And now Del Santo again to Wells.
Lays it off. Greenwood looks back towards the middle. Dangerous ball. Kelly able to punch it forward only as far as McDonald. Now they can build from the back. Right to Gibson. Searching kick inside the forward 50. It'll bounce in no man's land. Brown came to meet it. Enright. He's in trouble now. Petrie. Incorrect disposal. Undignified too. Petrie will get the free kick.
He looked up, just had no one to go to, so he just hung on to it just a bit longer than he wanted to. Great tackle by Petrie. As soon as he pinned the right arm, there was no way he could legally dispose of the footy. Good tackle.
Good work off the footy there by McMillan just to cover the exit option there for Enright. So it was forced to take on Petrie.
24 goals in 19 games against the Cats. Drew Petrie finished last week, as I mentioned earlier, in a blaze of glory. Right behind him, it's working back. Know your kicking style. Well done, Drew Petrie. A goal the difference.
Just to work at this, the big fellas, because the big forwards have to lock the ball. When you've got Petrie and Brown and Black, who are not that quick at ground level, they've got to really work really hard defensively.
Gee, Blitzers went early there, and then Zeeble got it to Wells. Great tackle by Selwood on Swallow, but he held up Swallow. Motlop toe pokes to space. Duncan and Gibson. Gee, Gibson's been busy early. Good tackle by Duncan. Thompson, caddy. Thompson like a ball. Did very well, Thompson. Releases Gibson. Gibson waits for Harvey. Boomer at half forward. Belts it to full forward. Thomas lurking brilliantly. This will be something. Oh, that is brilliant. Front and centre at its best. Oh, that was sensational.
It was a great finish. I think he actually ignored a couple of his runners and actually had the snapshot. He had to kick that, otherwise the call would have been give the handball.
Very clever, wasn't it? He allowed Kelly to go to the contest, and if you're going to do that, you have to mark the ball, and he didn't. Two Geelong players dropped it, and it allowed Thomas to be front and square.
Couldn't be accused of not keeping his eye on the footy there, Lindsay Thomas, but it was Thompson involved across half-back, and Gibson also getting plenty of the footy. He's up to 7 disposals. Fantastic start. We saw the stats of the fast starts from the Cats and the strong finish for the Roos, but these are all bonus goals right now for North Melbourne.
What a start by Lindsay Thomas. And for the moment at least, James Kelly's got a real headache, coming off 11 possessions last week. Uncharacteristic. Down goes Zeeble. It was a marvellous snap by Thomas. So the acid early on the Cats.
Goldstein's been really strong early for the Kangaroos also.
Blixarves could have been pushed in the back there, ever so slightly. Explain that. Over the top. Crashing to the ground, Guthrie on Del Santo. Parkinell. By Nichols. That's what you get for showing off. Opportunity for Greenwood. Knocked on by Goldstein. Del Santo. Brilliant hand pass. Got it to the youngster Turner. Don't tell me. He lines up for number 3 and he's drilled it. Hose him down. Thomas is on fire.
Big job now for James Kelly. Quietish game last week against the Hawks, and he's got the most important job for Geelong out there on the field.
Remarkable. The top 2 goal scorers for the Kangaroos are hitting it 4 between them, but all Thomas ready, 3 and 1 for Petrie. That's a good clearance. Hawkins, Grimer, toe poking. So North have got the fast start that I think a lot thought that Geelong might get tonight. So the Cats will have to play a bit of catch-up footy. Walker, Cunnington. Good hands by McDonald, Atley, Farito. There's a spark and confidence about North. Brown on the long leg, goes to ground. Taylor, and now Rivers off a step.
Kicks inside the forward 50. Reimer should mark and does.
He's playing a high handball game. 33 handballs already, North Melbourne. 4 only to Geelong.
Goes out wide. Black on the stretch, drops the mark. Tries to keep it in, then coughs it up. Didn't work out too well. Duncan, though, forced across the line by Gibson, so boundary throw in.
Just can't get their hands on the ball at the moment, Geelong. The game's been going now for 10 minutes and just the 13 disposals. That's quite remarkable.
They're down by 18 points. The number of points registered by Lindsay Thomas. 3 goals in the opening 5 or 6 minutes. Blistering stuff. Ball up. Brief respite for the Cats. Blixarves really finding it tough. Goldstein, dangerous tap out towards goal for the opposition. Brown over the top of McDonald.
Thank you.
Ball up. Oh no, he's playing a free kick. Oh no, he's going to throw it up.
It's been good, McDonald. It's just a couple of games.
Holding his arm. Selwood.
So Joel Selwood, such an influence last week in that opening 2.5 quarters. Just missed, kicks it a bit. Oh, good mark by Brown. Walker, I should say. So Walker getting over the top.
Yeah, Scotty Thompson thought that was his mark, so he was just setting himself for the mark, and in the process, Walker just got the leap on him.
Saw him take 3 really good marks last week in the first half, and good to see that he flew for that mark. He attacked it. He had confidence to go for the mark.
First match against the Kangas. He's pretty accurate from the set shots, and he shouldn't miss. And he's got it. So Geelong steadied the ship a bit here. High-scoring opening term.
He really launched himself, didn't he? Never thought about the spoil. Always had confidence to mark it.
So the margin 12 points. Good bounce. Blixarves up high that time. Won it down. Coming off the line. Stokes upended. Goldstein sits on the footy virtually.
These have been the dangers when Blixarves can jump at the centre bounce. He's not bad, but in the lean against each other, Goldstein's been dominating these plays.
Caddy sensing that is third man up. Slaps it wide. Selwood finds the footy. Varco. Well, he came aggressively, then laid it off, missed end right. Varco recovered okay, though. It's going to be a free kick. No, it's a North Melbourne free, is it? Against Varco, perhaps. Varco remonstrating with the umpire. North to get a free. Well, fair enough, they don't know whose it is, because neither do I.
Clear away. Del Santo, your kick. Clear
That's
away.
better. Cleared up.
Thomas is on here.
Del Santo. The attacking end of the centre square just sets it up. Petrie gets separation, takes the mark too easy. After all of that, you would think it's impossible.
Well, here's the throw here. Dennis, a bit hard to tell from that angle, but just watch. I mean, just so much chaos going in there. You see Thomas darting across, Black's pushing up, and then all of a sudden, Petrie's got some isolation off Lonergan. That's really good work from the North forwards.
So Petrie coming in at his second, and he's got it.
Great example, the timing of the forwards movement. When the kicker looks up, Petrie goes to the space. It's almost kicking to the space and drawing you forward into it. That's a great bit of coordination between kicker and leading player.
So a little bit of query about Thomas and Petrie in these finals, and 5 between them in the opening term. They turned out to have big matches last week, didn't they, in the second halves?
And Mackey's gone to Thomas after doing the job on Bruce. Kelly now rolling up on Gibson.
Well, Guthrie getting out of the centre. So those pair of sharpshooters have already matched what they did for the whole match last week. Blixarves, good tackle, and it'll be a ball up. So 5 first quarter goals for the Kangas, a couple for the Cats. Accurate kicking as well. Blixarves easily, but well done by Swallow. Good smother by Enright. Greenwood. Harvey. Didn't have the ball in the end, who get a free.
Go through. Harvey in the back.
What a remarkable player. I mean, You look at the 36-year-olds that have played in finals footy in the last 15 years. You think about Bradley and Salmon and Fletcher and Harvey and Robert Harvey as well. So he equals Robert Harvey tonight with 383.
Thompson got it from Wells. Atley goes short. A lot of confidence for North at the present time. McDonald on the outer side. Left footer cuts back. Penetrating kick inside the forward 50. Zeeble committed to the pack off hands. Well done by Varco. Got rid of Gibson. Charging in there is Zeeble. And there's a man down. That's Stokes. Yeah, Stokes slow to get up. You can see him on all fours behind the pack.
Got your bulk, use it. That's what Zeeble has to do. It might have been a high bump or maybe body to body, but that's what you have to do. Get the big body into the crunches.
So important, Stokes. Motlop. There he is. So he's picked himself up. Gets the ball to centre wing. Hawkins used the body pretty well, but McMillan with the pace gets the right bounce, comes back inboard. A lot of handball we've talked about. That's holding the footy. Thompson caught up by Haaland Smith. Bartel, first time I think I've called his name. Running hard, Caddy. Normally a pretty good kick. That one always to the skinny. Couldn't quite get the angles. And a behind.
Reason for that, Bruce, his first possession.
Is that right for you?
Yep. That's right, kicking it in. Very confusing. Here's Petrie. About 25 metres out from his own defensive goal. Long way back. Right, an emerging player. As Bruce said, so good late in the game last week. With dash from half back to the wing. Over the top, Brown. Confident mark over Harry Taylor. Goes back and puts a notch on his belt. Short down towards the 50. Wells spilt it. The hand pass came out eventually to Motlop, who coughs it up. So that wasn't convincing football. Back inside the centre square or just outside. Thurlow's hand pass really didn't get them going. Now Harvey does. Del Santo. Long ball. Coming hard. Goldstein. Zeeble the crumb. Brown knocks it goalward. Chance now for the youngster. Turner! The 18-year-old.
Seems was a goal. So whoever review, my belief is a goal. Score review. Umpire's call is a goal. Please check if the ball was touched. Review underway.
So this is the official score review that we're seeing now. Now back to our angle. This is our angle.
You wouldn't change the umpire.
No, that's a goal.
Vision.
Review completed. Confirmed goal. All clear.
Kane Turner gets the goal. His first in a final. How about that?
I tell you what, that's the second knock on by Ben Brown.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a smart footballer who knows don't take possession, knock it into the space for your teammate.
It's really good
he set
awareness,
up a couple of goals by doing that. That's terrific play by that young fella.
It's another added bonus of the development of Levi Greenwood. That Jack Zeeble, a player who's got physical presence, and he's almost a midfielder, but a 6'2" midfielder playing in the front half, and he's providing some real physical pressure at ground level for the Kangaroos up front.
Well, having an awareness of who's around you, Lee, and that's exactly what he had there. He knew that had a player loose in the square.
Very impressive.
First time a team's kicked 6 goals against the Cats in the opening term this year, so what a time to do it. Goldstein again just dominating. Swallow, Guthrie takes him down. Selwood gets involved. He'll be a sore boy tonight, Andrew Swallow. But he's tough enough for that. And another ball up. So Goldstein having a dominating opening term. Brown won that one. Gibson, prolific, gets the ball to half. Brown's been good. His stats mightn't be high, but he's had a real influence, I reckon. Kelly caught over the ball. Cunnington ripping into him. And a ball up.
Well, he seems to pick up the flight quickly, or pick up the flow of the play, so he gets to the front position. He did it on Taylor a couple of times. He might not necessarily mark it, but he actually is making himself available.
Selwood sharks the tap from Goldstein to Varco. Sends it towards the outer side wing. Coming across on the angle is right. Escorts it across the boundary line.
The thing with Brown, he gets to the right position, which means that Taylor can't sift off and play that intercept role that he loves so well.
And Blitzarth's gone to Brown. Tom Lonigan spends very little time on the bench, but watching from the bench at this stage.
Goldstein, who's been the master, thumps it forward. Bartel, who's been quiet, tracks it again. Another boundary throw-in.
26 final for Jimmy, so he's getting into that rare air. He's in the top 15. 19 for Harvey. Fair way from the North Melbourne record. Bartel's got the Geelong record. Swallowed again, first in, but taken down.
Got to say, no, it's good with the Geelong ruckman at the moment. Look like a bit like the ruck coach at ruck practice. They're just they're leaning on Goldstein, but Goldstein's just putting it wherever he wants it.
Gibson hooking
Maybe
back.
not that time.
Varco, Petrie, Taylor, Thomas, 3 first quarter goals. A sensational start by him.
You get the sense that Goldstein, early in the week, he was shaping himself for a matchup against his former, I guess, mentor in Hamish McIntosh. Then all the talk was the young Geelong players, that he got a bit of a rod in his back and thought, well, you know, I'm the #1 ruckman in town at the moment. I'm going to do a job on these younger players.
Walker met solidly, slow to get up. Meantime, there's a whistle alongside him. Last man up is Bartel. Margin 23 points. North on top. Got the fast start. They've been most impressive. Del Santo got it down to Harvey. Swallow breaks free. Goes inside the forward 50. Rivers reaches over the top of Zeeble. Thumped it away. Kelly goes after it. Close to the boundary line is Turner. And we'll have a throw in. Turner just a handful of games. Already he's kicked a goal. Thomas has got 3 and Petrie 2.
And they're equal in the leading goal kicker. Not that they're going to worry about that at the moment. Both on 45 goals, those guys, Petrie and Thomas. Again, Goldstein, Haaland, Smith, well done. Thurlow getting it out of the danger zone. Gee, Hawkins fell over, but Mark not taken by Thompson, and then spun brilliantly by Bartel McDonald. And now Stokes, but he has to wait for the troops. And he is a patient guy, Stokes, but he just kicks to the disadvantage in the end of Caddy. And Thompson belts it out.
I reckon there was 2 plays in that forward 50 where Lindsay Thomas may well have got a free kick, but I think he's been well known to play for them, and I reckon he's a bit like free kick non gratis. Unless it's an absolute certainty.
Predetermined by the umpire.
Yeah. Doesn't need any help tonight so far. Goldstein lays it down. Guthrie, Haaland, Smith trying to back out of the pack. Walker, hurried kick. Drop down there. Spilling it was Turner. Now the Cats are in. Bartel. That's a poor kick. Thompson, sure at that time. He's been a little uncertain tonight so far, Thompson, but gets it to Swallow. Standing the mark is Selwood. Short one goes to Del Santo.
Intriguing the Swallow-Selwood battle, isn't it? I mean, maybe not running completely together, but just the influence they might have on the game. Brown, Turner again, impressive start.
They're playing the same role, not man on man, body to body, but they're both the getters and then the spreaders for both teams. So,
and looking at their individual numbers throughout the year, they both average about 50% of their possessions contested, 6 clearances, 7 tackles. So as far as like for like, very comparable.
Walker and Goldstein. Walker sort of won that battle. Cunnington, well done. Swallow, back to Gibson. So getting so much of it, North good. Well done by Brown. And then Gibson held up particularly well. McDonald, Swallow again, right. They're playing a dangerous game. They lead by 4 goals, though. Del Santo played more finals than any other Saint. Del Santo equal with Revolt and Harvey. And now right on the end of it from Gibson. Going to fall forward. Zeeble, Black, not quite. Pressure on Rivers, ball almost out. Blitzarves in the back half. Rode the first bump. Is he in trouble? The tackle. It's a ball up. North good pressure forward. Swallow doing a great job here.
Certainly handled the ball a lot across half back, but it worked out okay. An indicator perhaps of overconfidence, but plenty of confidence regardless. Mackey to Rivers around the corner. Barely the 15. Enright takes the mark. Brown unhappy. 13 plays 36. Short one to Selwood. Selwood looks up the middle. Varco obliges. Takes the mark. Plays on immediately. Poor kick off the side of the boot. It'll bounce just inside the boundary and go out. Thurlow running towards it and running off. So Jared Rivers with a limp up at the moment. They can ill afford that because it's been busy traffic-wise down that end.
And he seems a good matchup for Zeeble at the moment, doesn't he, in terms of the size? Zeeble, such a interesting forward player. Whirls can take a mark, Zeeble. Whirls just not quite programmed tonight. Dropped an easy mark. Poor handball from his standards. There's Selwood. an incredible first half last week. There he is doing the ruck work here. Or trying to do the ruck work with Goldstein. He does do a bit of everything.
That's literally a one-man band, isn't it?
So Blitzarves and Goldstein. Enright was touched off the boot. Sweeping handball coming from Duncan. Selwood getting heavily involved. Stokes, and that just is summing up Geelong at the moment.
You see Selwood make a mistake about once a month, so
yep.
That's one of those, the one for this month, the handball that missed the target.
36 plays 13. 6 minutes out from quarter time. Reaching over the top. Goldstein down behind. Dangerous spot. Motlop got it from Hall and Smith. Kicks towards the 50. Brown dives after it. Right on the numbers. He's claimed from behind there by Thompson. Umpire lets them play for a while. Then the whistle. They've been untidy, Geelong, so far. Goldstein drops it at his feet. Del Santo couldn't control it. Caddy hand passes towards goal. Ferrito came up to meet it. Sends it towards the wing. Brown, nicely done. Greenwood sent away on his natural left foot. Running down the ground. Thomas in the middle there was asking a lot of him. Now it's with Zeeble.
And then Zeeble going to centre half forward. Brilliant kick. Gee, they thought their way through that Hawthorn-like, I reckon, North Melbourne.
With Greenwood, he knew that there was nothing forward, so the little chip kick.
Generally, it reminded me of Jordan Lewis, the way he did that. The sort of thing that Hawthorn, the decision-making they make.
I think it's working well for the Kangaroos to have Zeeble when he's forward to play as their most goal-side player. A really good one-on-one player.
Did you see Petrie having such an impact?
No, I didn't. No, I thought the big Geelong defenders, that would be a strength for Geelong, but Petrie and Brown have been dangerous.
But he's kicked so well tonight, Petrie. That one always skinny and missing. So the first miss for the Kangas. Just can't get their hands on it, Geelong.
That's the big issue. It's just a weight of supply for the North Melbourne players. The conditions are perfect.
Oh, Mackie. This is a tall target. Goldstein turns around and kicks a goal. He was running away and came back to the footy.
Well, this is
that's a bad error.
Yeah, no, whether it was an overkick or an overrun, it's pretty much inexcusable.
It's a low point in a very poor quarter. It's only the second time that North have managed 7 goals in the opening term of any final. So,
contact below the knees. Geelong.
See, that's a hard one to work out, isn't it? So Selwood, never quite sure about that one. So Selwood high to full forward. Can Hawkins get involved? The big fly came from Brown that time. Thurlow up the front tackle, I think, on Ferrito, and a ball up.
Impressive statistics from North Melbourne at the moment. 97 disposals to 47, but 20 tackles to 14, so they're winning the ball. And on those rare occasions they don't win it, they put the clamp on.
Cunnington, 47 disposals, Geelong. 4 weeks ago, they had 134 in the opening term against Hawthorn. Extraordinary. They just cannot find it. Wells going back, Greenwood. Chippy kick, looks okay. Belted away, though, at the back by Thurlow.
This is that sliding rule interpretation. I haven't seen one paid for about a month. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, he didn't make much contact.
But last week
if you go to ground and go through the guy's lower legs at all, it should be a free kick. They've been ignoring it recently, Macca, but that's the rule.
Just last week I got confused about it.
Only because they didn't pay it.
The week is a long time in footy, Bruce. Wells, McDonald, Ferrito. Effected the kick, a lunge there. Behind the pack, Gibson. He misses a target. Kelly will get his first possession on his knees. There's Harry. Taylor drives it down towards half forward, being restrained behind the contest. Well, there was really no contest. Hawkins couldn't get up there and put pressure on Thompson. Thompson punched away. Grimer sent the ball to the outer side, and now Kelly close to the boundary line. Gibson is up to 14 possessions, just quietly going about his business on that great southern stand side.
Having a massive opening term. Mackie gets it from Bartel. Quick kick to the forward line. On strong mark again by Walker. Gee, that's a good grab.
Not getting much of a look at it, Geelong, but Walker's just jumped into a couple, so that's really critical to keep them in touch. One thing about Geelong, they've got such experience and steel within their side. This is
below the knees?
No, I think it was more that, to me, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, I got it, mate. That's fine.
One of the few times they've been able to win some clean ball and go forward into their forward 50.
Well, he's an accurate kick. He's 7-2 from set shots. And that one's going to work back. So Geelong, well, they're ticking it over. They've kicked 3 first-quarter goals, but they're a long way back.
So the margin 24 points now. Approaching quarter time in the second semi-final. Goldstein, one of the stories of the first term. Will go against the man who kicked the last goal, Walker. Goldstein trying to knock it down behind Azebel. Chance for Murdoch. Haven't called his name too often. Caddy, a searing kick inside the forward 50. And the mark is taken by Hawkins. That's better. That's cat-like.
Good clearance here, good contest. Follow-up here by Walker. Lost a step out.
Dangerous spot to put it, isn't it? Hooking it down behind your head. It opens everything up.
Yeah, if one of your team doesn't get it, the opposition is running onto it and going forward.
So Tom Hawkins, 63 goals for the season. Best of 7 against Brisbane, round 23. So he finished the season in good form. Over the course of this season, 7 goals in 2 games, 4 and 3 against North Melbourne. This is a very important kick. It's coming back. It's good. 2 late goals. A rally for the Cats.
It's a good kick, isn't it? Gee, this is a bonus for the Cats. I mean, this is momentum. Within 3 goals, they've had half the number of disposals. Like they're right back in it now. Caddy again. So some good late stuff. Taking them on, held up, Bartel, a quick hook back, still time for another one. Gets it into the forward 50, Blitzarves and Hawkins. Hawkins goes to ground. Thompson, high tackle, free kick. We'll be talking to Brad Scott at quarter time, by the way, so looking forward to that. He would have been very happy a minute ago. Right now, he'd be thinking we're not as far in front as we really deserve to be in a way. Thompson, he's a heart-in-your-mouth player, isn't he? Brown the target with Lonigan. Quick kick around the corner coming from Mackie and kept the ball from going out on the full. 3-time premiership player, Mackie. It's diminishing the number. Every time you see them, the Cats, no Stevie J tonight, but that great core group.
Goldstein in front. Well, very conscious of Walker and lost him in transition. Cunnington kicks it down towards half forward, but the mark is taken by Lonigan. Lonigan, right half back. Clock is down to 15 seconds now. Drives it close to the boundary. From behind, Brown launches himself off hands, hitting the pack hard with Selwood. Doubt there's time for a goal. Lunging at it, Swallow. Gathered by Caddy. It needs a mark. Hawkins has taken that mark. Right on the siren. A sense of the dramatic by the Cats and Tom Hawkins.
We sensed it might have been a whole scoring goal after a couple of goals in about the first 2 minutes. So could be a 12-goal quarter. That's really good footy to watch.
4 minutes ago, the Cats were down by 30 points. Tom Hawkins will take a shot at goal from about 40 metres out. Huge kick again. The last one very important, making this one even more important. Number 26. They're right behind him. It's a good-looking kick, and suddenly these goal kickers are multiplying like TV chefs here at the MCG. That was a great goal. His first of the night. Quarter time. 7-1 plays 5-1.
The quarter time break. Brought to you by Amy.
Welcome back to the MCG. A shootout here in the first quarter in the semi-final. And 12 goals scored in that first quarter. A late flurry there from the Cats to whittle the margin back to 2 goals. And Tom Hawkins really important in that last 5 minutes, Richo.
Yeah, it just shows you to play the quarter right out. It was Joel Selwood that kept the ball alive right on the boundary line. He could have run it out late in a quarter. He didn't. Goes into Hawkins. 2 late goals. They're right in it now. Only 2 goals down.
Joined by Brad Scott. And Scotty, you'd be disappointed with that last 5 minutes?
Yeah, obviously. Real control of the game, and then just a couple of lapses let him back in.
Saying that, though, Scotty, you must be pleased. What were the most pleasing things in that first quarter?
Oh, mostly that we dominated possession. I mean, we were winning the ball in the first place, but you know, the clearances were good early, but you know, they got ascendancy in the second half of that quarter. So, you know, I think we really think if we address that clearance area, then we're controlling the ball pretty well.
You're making enough of the Goldstein domination there, do you think?
No, not at the moment. No, not at all. So we'll change some things there and change our personnel around the stoppages a little bit.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate.
Brad Scott. At quarter time, the margin is 12 points. At one stage, North led by 30 points. And fair to say, Wayne, second terms haven't been a strength of the Kangaroos.
No, it hasn't. And he said to change personnel. Already Jack Zeebel's gone into the middle of the ground, so a bigger body in the centre clearances along with his captain and also Cunnington.
Yeah, look, I mean, quite clearly it was when North Melbourne lost ascendancy, they were losing it at the coalface, and they've put their three hardest players, as you said there, Wayne, Cunnington and Swallow along with Zeeble.
Hit outs were 26-12 in North's favour, but they were down 2 in the clearances, so not working in there.
Opening bounce of the second term, Goldstein up. Knocked it down, Duncan, Bartel, Blixarves. Varco runs from half-back, kicks down towards half-forward. Ball hangs a long time in the air. Brown did OK. Thompson fires a hand pass back to Grimer. That was Selwood. That identified flying object who almost got a smother there. Now it's Caddy. He was a spark late in that first term, goes short and finds the man he found just before the break. Out of the centre, setting up the first of Hawkins' 2 goals. Caddy to Hawkins, who's about 20 metres out.
With me here. Jim, hold there. Just here. Josh, play on.
Runs around, snaps, and misses wide right with that one. Stevie J invention, the J curve, it spawned more imitators than Elvis.
I know the players like doing that type of kick these days, but I just don't like it. Right foot up, step inside, kick it at the right-hand post.
Ferrito very short. Greenwood. So a bit of a shaky time for North. They lead by 11 points, but you feel like they're behind in some ways. Zeeble there has gone into the centre for the first of the clearances. Caddy, I agree with Dennis. Caddy's been with Selwood, the two that have really got Geelong going.
Huge test for the maturity of North Melbourne. Got the sense they just, you hate to say it, a little bit ahead of themselves, started to run ahead of the ball, and the Cats right back in this contest.
Well, that 12-goal opening term's only been done once before this year. West Coast, Gold Coast, 6 each in the final round of the home and away. It was an onslaught, wasn't it? 7-5. There's Caddy. Fabulous first back half of the quarter. Terrific form until last week. Swallow, Cunnington, Zeeble getting it forward. Clever there by Thomas, Taylor and Petrie. So they're swapped there, the two big defenders. Duncan on the up. Bartel starting to get involved. Well-weighted handball. Motlop. Not sure how well he's moving, Motlop. Thomas. Ball squeezing out Caddy. Harvey. Haven't seen a lot of Boomer yet. Kelly. Thought it might have been high. No, Mackie. Good tackle, though. Thomas tackled by Varco. Ball hasn't quite got out, and it'll be a ball up. So some good stuff from both teams.
Forwards hunting up the ground here for North Melbourne, losing a bit of forward structure. Lindsay Thomas trying to get himself involved through the middle of the ground.
Selwood earns a free kick.
Let it up now. Joel, go back and take your kick, please.
Two captains tangling and reading the play very nicely. Swallow. Selwood keen to go. Swallow made it difficult. Duncan's hand pass knocked forward there by Varco. Murdoch went to ground in the opposite direction. Del Santo to Harvey to Zeeble. Zeeble goes out wide. Greenwood runs the boundary. Bit happening behind play. Oblivious to that, Greenwood continues his run. He's carried it beyond the wing. Draws a man, goes short. Del Santo ran hard in that exchange.
It's a steadying influence, Del Santo, isn't he? Really wastes the ball.
Blood rule. Wait. Blood rule. Hey? Blood rule? No, you both went to ground together. Straight off.
I'm fucking jumping your head.
No. It's your kick, it's a blood rule. Thanks, Brady Selwood.
So I think Joel's coming off. So here's how it started. As Den said, there's a bit going on here. I know Boomer and Joel got tangled up.
I think he might have had a bit of blood streaking before that incident. Yeah,
nothing happening there. So Harvey and Selwood. Well,
seen that before.
Yeah.
the patented headband. He's split. I've never seen a player who's got more split eyebrows more often than Joel Selwood.
Luke Hodges, one that comes to mind.
He's probably the other candidate.
So Brown with that long ball. Rivers timed it best. Only one that really went for it.
Rivers.
And so Rivers back to Duncan, and Duncan with a bit of time to think about it.
As a bounce, runs to half-back, lobs one towards the centre. Blixards found some space that time. Sweeping hand pass out wide. Walker spilt it, tracks it. Thompson step for step. Walker keeps going. Grimer stood his ground, didn't have the football. Spills across towards Brown to Walker. Zeeble, like the cavalry, arrived in the nick of time. Atlee stripped of the football by Motlop. In goes Holden Smith. Chance for Caddy. Down he goes. Atlee over the top. Ball spills loose. Socket off the ground by Wells. Tracking it in right. Taking him down Turner. Brown hit the deck. Wells keeps on coming with finesse. Gets out of trouble. Kicks to a contest.
And an important one too. Kelly. Harvey running onto it. Now he's got everything in front of him, Boomer. He'll lap this up. Clever. Needs the bounce. Over the top. Not a great handball. Peachy's got 3. It wasn't quite what they wanted when he got the ball, but the end result's just as good.
Yeah, scanning the field there, just might see the mop of Ben Brown, and Harry Taylor made some amazing yardage there. And Brown have the awareness to get involved, and Petrie slots his third.
Goldstein taps it down. That's in the back. Wells gets the free against Guthrie. Wells. High ball inside the forward 50. Brown sets himself, attracted a crowd over the top. It's thumped away by Lonigan. William gathered by Stokes from half back. Bangs it down towards half forward. Hawkins could have been held, no free kick. Grimer leads in the race. Closing is Motlop. He doesn't look right, Motlop. Well played by Grimer. McMillan. And now McDonald sends it down towards half forward. Petrie needed to mark it and did.
It's a good response here by North Melbourne.
Petrie down towards left half forward. He's been a star so far in this one. Short. Whack. 5 metres in from the boundary. 65 metres out. Sends a long ball down towards full forward. Speculative ball. Lonigan, eyes only for the footy. Takes a nice mark.
I don't reckon that's going to work for them tonight, that long ball in a couple of times in this quarter.
Didn't have enough height in there, so he really needed to see that Lonigan was going to drift into that spot.
So Lonigan, that's straight down the middle. Not a great kick, I wouldn't have thought, but they might be all right. Duncan. Thurlow. Mackie, well done. Wright just got rid of him. Poor handball from McDonald. Thurlow got a finger in there. Caddy holds up the opposition in right. And that ball not coming out for the moment, so I think we'll have a ball up. Selwood about to come back onto the ground. He'll be itching to go. There's Motlop. He isn't moving. Just not moving freely, is he?
They've been a bit proper in the warm-up when they're running off the ground. I think he's just got some discomfort from that ankle issue that's...
By the way, Lee, Christensen's going in for a back operation. So Christensen gone for the season.
Gibson sends it inside the forward 50. Falling hard was Brown, off the deck by Thomas.
Already we've seen with a long ball, and it's enabled Geelong to get that third man up, whether it be Mackie, Taylor, Rivers or Lonigan. Just need to back their ball use across half forward, hit up a target.
Real tug of war at the moment. Varga to bring it in. Outside the 50. Atlee is there with Selwood. Almost Atlee's mark. Caddy, Selwood, Taylor into Mines. Enright, the old firm. Hawkins coming a long way in search of a kick. Finished brilliantly in that first term. Here's Caddy. He's been a catalyst. Caddy jams it back inside. Selwood. Caddy, a quiet final last week against the Hawks, but prior to that was in blistering form to finish the season. Perhaps career best form. Short one comes from Selwood to Enright. Left centre wing. Guthrie offers short. There's a vacuum behind him, but Enright decides to kick longer still. Working in front, Brown. Put a hand to it, knocked it down. He goes on to weigh a tackle. Might be McDonald at the base of all of that. No, in fact, it's Turner.
The youngster kicked a goal in the opening term. Goldstein over the top. Zeeble. Well done, Guthrie. Bartell's got a good hook on this. It'll touched.
Well done,
well done, yeah, there's McDonald.
Well, kicking a goal yourself, isn't it? A touch. a touch ball that denies the 5 points, the extra 5 points?
He was visibly sick a moment ago, McDonald. Just as they came out of the quarter-time huddle, he walked over to his position and just happened to see his situation, but he's okay now. Grimer.
Gibson. Well done by Guthrie. Knocks it away from Gibson. He's up to 15 possessions now, 14 in the first term. He's been quelled a little. Throw in outside the 50. Flicks halves. Goldstein. Goldstein checks short of the ball right, reaching over the top of Selwood. Selwood wraps him up.
He's a loose man. Well, not the loose man, but he certainly doesn't have a direct matchup. Gibson able to do what he pleases.
There he is, as if on cue. Goldstein knocked it down to him. High ball towards the wing. Geelong in best position to cope here. Lonigan met solidly. Varco's kick not particularly effective. Harvey did well to Black. Petrie back to Black. Black in trouble. Did nicely. Del Santo. He's been quiet. Selwood nabbed him. Kick bounces inside the forward 50. Coming hard is Lonigan. Tried to accelerate through the tackle. Petrie sends it down towards full forward. Down goes Brown. That's a minor score.
Just looks lively, Brown, doesn't he?
Oh!
Oh, gee.
Wells, brilliantly done. Hooks it back towards full forward. Getting back is Taylor.
So Taylor short to Rivers. And then again. Setting up Murdoch. Murdoch gets around Harvey. Running hard. Murdoch gets to centre wing. A one-on-one. Walker's been good. Couldn't take the mark. Gibson. Petrie. Fantastic first half for him. Right. You can set up here. That's a brilliant kick to Brown. Good hands. And the little gives okay. And then the quick kick by McDonald forward. Thomas, brilliant mark. Gee, they took a risk, North there. Well done.
A couple of really great players. On the far wing, it was Zeeble actually outworking Walker in a one-on-one contest. And then the switch here from Petrie to right. And those hands from Brown are just outstanding.
Just finding front position. They're not going to take them all, but Geelong aren't going to mark against you when you're Brown getting to the front spot. But straight down the centre corridor, really, that was the secret to that attacking move.
Well, so much talked about his kicking over the years. He was a poor set shot for a long time, and then he turned it all around. And this year he's been accurate, as he has for the last couple. Could he kick a fourth first half goal here? Petrie's already got 3 as well. And this to give North a cosy lead. It's going away. And he misses. So a good chance went begging there.
19 points the difference. Varco in the back pocket. Some indecision. Eventually it goes to Motlop. Barely to 15. Motlop up towards left half back. Motlop comes down the line. Grimer and Hawkins battle. Goldstein got a hand on it. Hawkins tries to charge his way through. Rampaging bull, but he was taken down. Standing his ground was Gibson. Ball up. Oh, cop that. Took the legs out from under him. Big leap from Walker, unrealistic leap from Walker.
Right, be very careful with that. Tight.
Goldstein to Del Santo. 12th disposal for Del Santo. Back he goes to McDonald. It was his good kick a moment ago to Thomas. That one not so good. Ferrito way to Brown, chipped across. So few games, Brown. Drafted at the end of 08. Duncan. Well done, Atley. And a boundary throw-in. So sort of a stalemate now after the flurry of goals. The Avalanche in the opening term. Early goal in this quarter for Petrie, and then nothing since.
Good closing speed from Atley. Right there. Walker, Cunnington, Gibson. Now Brown. Some indecision there. Not a good kick. Probably not his preferred side, and the ball rolls out of bounds in front of Petrie. Petrie, 3 goals to his name. It's amazing what a week as the hero can do. Looks in real form suddenly. He's been a consistent goal kicker without breaking too many records in the last 4 or 5 seasons. Wells, Swallow, Cunnington, Gibson again. Dangerous kick, right, nice pickup, goes to Thompson. Needs to make this right. Thompson kicks to a 2-on-1, but the one is Selwood. And Selwood gets it out of bounds.
Has a presence, doesn't he? I mean, makes you nervous, Selwood.
Just forces himself to the contest. It looked like he was going to get jumped over. Just pushes back hard into McDonald.
So Walker and Brown, a couple of the rookie ruckmen, so to speak. Certainly not the first choices, but doing the job here. Del Santo, head down. Caddy, the first of the tacklers.
Back. North Melbourne. Thanks, Josh, where you are. Nah.
Remarkable, Del Santo. 100 consecutive games for the second time. I mean, Kevin Bartlett's done it. Kevin Murray, Scott West, and Nick Del Santo. They're the only 4. So good company he's in. Good kick, Cunnington. Wanted to use the run of right as a decoy, and the handball to Gibson. Gibson off the step. Thomas lurking again. Lonigan the flyer. Duncan the mop-up. So North just not quite getting those entries right. Geelong might hurt them here.
Bartel on the outer side wing then. Corrals the bouncing footy. Measures things. Well, didn't measure them too well. Terrible kick down towards the pocket. Thompson runs away from Hawkins to right, who likes a run. Sends it outside the defensive 50. That's against Motlop.
No need for it, okay?
Umpire having a word to him. Put the kicker down. That was right. So Ferrito with the ball outside the defensive 50. Short one. Greenwood has resurrected his career this season.
It's been fantastic, Dennis. He really has. He looked on the outer last year. Good kick. Gee, that was poor by Motlop because they're under pressure, North, and he just released the valve, didn't he?
Yeah, confidence pills these once this uncontested ball gives them an opportunity to set up.
Poor kick, yeah. Just didn't get enough on it so from Turner. So Duncan cuts it to Mackie. Mackie had a moment in that first turn. And then Mackie, that's a good kick, and Geelong have got a chance here. Bartel short, well done. And now Motlop with the chance within range, and he's going to go short. Not sure about that. Might work. Guthrie, Grimer's got him down. Ball not quite out. Ferrito takes them on, drops it. He might have been fortunate too. Del Santo, lovely trap. Bartel, quick handball. Enright, and then Enright off the step. Good kick, but he's out wide. Rivers. Gee, Geelong missed a chance. Not sure what Motlop was... well, he just overkicked it, didn't he?
Just right on his range. I guess he would have been kicking from 48.
And which is the sore ankle, the right or the left?
Hasn't kicked a goal this year, Rivers. Hasn't kicked a goal in the final. Can he kick his first goal in the final? First goal for the season? She's a good kick.
Oh. Should know the MCG pretty well, but not quite well enough there. Margin 18 points. It flatters the Cats at the moment. In the pocket, Thompson. Del Santo just acquiring kicks. Bruce talking about that streak. 77 of those consecutive games with the Saints. Now here's Gibson. He's up to 22 possessions now. This is right again. Thompson.
Tackle back here, Nico. Just there. 2.5 back. Kane Turner.
It's against Bartel, just about 50 metres ahead of the play.
Turner's got the free kick then.
So they hold it up. Now Wells, good kick. Gibson again, so mounting more to Del Santo to fall forward. Petrie, that was courageous coming across. Brown just missing. And who was that going across? It was Taylor and also Thurlow, I think, across the front of the pack.
Another long, high entry, which has enabled Blitzarves on that occasion to drop back. I mean, North Melbourne are dominating the game in all areas. If they can just get a bit more efficient with their ball use inside forward 50, they've got Geelong on toast here.
Yeah, that's the thing, Tom. They've taken 5 marks from opposition this quarter, Geelong. They just need to tidy that up, North.
Over the top for Rito. Selwood, brilliant gather. Stokes back to Selwood, demanding the football. Goes down towards half forward. Hawkins, so lively, always presenting. Credit to him. Sends it inside the forward 50. Motlop low down. Well, if the Cats win this, it will be one of their great victories in this run that has enthralled everybody over the last decade. They're on the ropes now. You can almost sense they're teetering. Motlop, a chance to do something about it. It'll take his best. Too few doing too much for the Cats. Motlop, could he come to the party? Good looking kick. It's swinging back right on the line. Goldstein.
Well, Rivers hit the post a moment ago, the inside of the post, and then Motlop. That was a great kick. Look how close.
It's been the same distance out as the shot he could have had before, so he's got the distance in him.
So Del Santo just off a step. Doesn't get a lot of distance because of that's a fine mark by Greenwood. That really was important. McMillan, good shepherding by Gibson. Zeeble, and then Zeeble, quick kick forward. Petrie, I think he might have marked it. No, did it touch the ground? Not sure.
Paid the mark.
Paid it.
Hey, help me out. I couldn't see. I couldn't see. Troy, help me out. Move out, please.
So you heard the umpire. Good call to Harry. Another umpire helped me. I was unsighted.
As a player, you really respect that sort of communication from the umpire.
There's nothing. Look at it in replay. So I think he got the fingers under the foot.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's certainly capable of kicking this. He's a streaky player, Petrie. I mean, one day, Dennis, I remember we were calling a match against the Dogs. He kicked 6 in the opening term.
Yep.
When he gets going, he's hard to stop. And that one not coming back. So he's missed a couple, and Thomas has missed a pretty easy one. And you just wonder if we'll be talking about that at the end of the match tonight.
And from memory, that was at this ground, wasn't it?
Yep.
He's a force of nature when he gets going. And obviously, he's feeling pretty good about himself and the team's chances tonight towards the end of last week. Mackey straight down the middle. Hawkins almost. Grimer casually sends it back inside the forward 50. Rivers knocks it away. Harvey the crummer, and it bounces through for a goal.
Well, that's exactly what he's in the side for, isn't it? To be front and square in the forward 50. And I don't think there's been too many plays in the history of the game that do it better.
So it's his 20th goal in finals. So 2-5 to 4 behinds in this term for North. So inaccurate both teams after the first quarter. Well done by Turner after Goldstein again got a clearance away. Stokes. Geelong had a big burst late in the opening term. They need another here. Strong mark by Brown. And then Brown going wide. Duncan kicked a terrific goal in the first quarter. Goes quickly to forward. Hawkins has been a target. Motlop getting involved in the pocket. Cute kick, good kick. Walker's got it. Gee.
That's tempting fate there from
You've got the kick. Come on.
Hawkins.
I've got the kick, all right?
Yeah, he was close to getting that turned around, I reckon, don't you?
Well, I think that was Ferrito's idea too, wasn't it? Trying to incite that.
Beautiful kick in from Motlop, but
2 metres. 2 metres.
Gee.
2
2 metres.
It's bad play by Tom Hawkins.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not. That's the part of the game you got to be disciplined. You've already got a 20-metre shot at goal. Don't risk the umpire reversing the call.
So this to equal a career high for Walker. This will be some first half for him too. Oh, he's missed. Gee, that's huge, isn't it? That is massive. Geelong just need everything they can get right now. So Hawkins, who was scrutinised at the end of last week with the jumper punch, and that one they're not turning it over, but may have been a bit fortunate.
Right in the back pocket then. 9 minutes. The first half outside the 50. Rivers helped on by Bartel. Del Santo, Zeeble. Del Santo's right footer up towards the wing. And it's going to be a free kick to Black, I think. Enright came back and took him high. So Black, the defensive side of the wing. It was Geelong who finished with a flurry in the first term. Can North repay in kind here? Grimer, maybe they're content to run the clock down. Grimer Minute and a half out from half-time.
Goes as long as he can. Goldstein and Brown, they're two targets. Cunnington at the back, takes Kelly and Blitzarves on, and Lonigan. I think he's gone. He took too many on there.
Took on the tackle.
So Lonigan, now maybe it's the Cats' chance. Can they conjure something short? They've got to be daring here, Mackie.
Play on.
So they normally like the corridor. Mackie high and under. Tough ball to mark. Bartel set himself. Brown, Caddy. Ball coming out to Hall Smith. But gee, doing well getting down low. I think it was Turner. Brown searching for it. Swallow, just held up Swallow. Dragged it back in. Got to get it out. Lucky did. Turner coughed it up. Caddy, geez, hard to get down. Goldstein, North might be safe, I think. Petrie and Taylor. Ball bouncing at the back. Enright wants Harry, he's a lefty. Handball to Duncan. Gibson got rid of him. Siebel and Hall Smith hard at it. Boundary throw in. And North eat up a few valuable seconds. And they lead by 4 goals late in the opening half.
Well, I think the stoppage before quarter time was about 20 seconds out, maybe a couple of seconds less. So time enough. An exposed form. Stokes did nicely. Duncan finds a way through to Selwood. Selwood comes across the ground to Mackie. Mackie wants to take them on. We're down to 17 seconds. Mackie goes long down towards full forward. In from the side, Walker. Motlop. Well, it was destined, I think, for Walker's chest. Motlop goes after it, scrambled out by Grimer. Kicks it out towards right half back. The danger is past. Fitting, Gibson may get the last possession of the term. Well, toss it up here, McDonald. Half time. And the frustration now spilling over. It's slipping away from the Cats. Margin is 24 points. North Melbourne in the second semi-final at the major break. Lead by 24, 60-36. After the margin was 12 at quarter time. 7-goal opening term for North has set this up. Carlton draft Friday night football half-time. The margin is 24 points. North Melbourne on top. Sam Gibson equaling his season's high so far, his average, rather, 24 possessions to half-time. His career high is 36 against Melbourne. He's having a big game so far. Let's go down to Tim and Richo on the boundary.
Just see Joel Selwood on screen there. We know that he left the ground in that first half under the blood rule after a bump. Richo, I just want to show you that bump again. I just want you to talk us through this because there was a bump from Harvey on Selwood. Here it is. There's the skipper Swallow chasing Selwood. Harvey comes in and bumps. Has he got anything to worry about there, Harvey?
Oh, look, I guess the only thing there is it is a little bit late. Joel's clearly disposed to the football and it was quite a bit of time elapsed. He was able to take quite a few steps before the bump occurred. But whether it's illegal or not, I don't think so. I don't think that he'll be suspended for that. They may have a little bit of a look at it. Tiny bit late, but I think he's okay.
I think Blitzarves too in this second half. We know that he's been towed up in the ruck by Goldstein. He needs to get on his bike. He's an Olympic athlete, this bloke. He needs to run Goldstein around as much as he possibly can and become an attacking option when he can.
So the margin was 12 points at quarter time. 7-goal opening term for North. The biggest margin in the game, 30 points. Goldstein started in brilliant fashion. Tim making the point. Blitzarves challenged now. Good bounce on the way down. Goldstein, Caddy. Goldstein flicks it out wide. Attlee, though. Under pressure, McDonald went to ground. Swallow lays it off. Siebel. A high floating kick back towards midfield, peeling off. Enright comes up to take the mark. Bartel is on the move for him. Goes wide of Bartel. And the mark is taken by Caddy.
He's imposed himself, Caddy. Sort of been the second lieutenant for the captain tonight. In Selwood, floats it forward. This is where they've been dangerous, Geelong. Actually, that Harvey one was pretty interesting a moment ago, wasn't it?
Well, Nathan Fyfe might think he might get a couple of weeks because the bump where your head hits the other guy's head, if you've initiated the bump, that's what Nathan Fyfe got his couple of weeks for early in the year. Did he get 1 week or 2? I'm trying to think. A lot got suspended anyway.
I reckon the easiest definition is if you choose to bump and you make head-high contact, you're in strife, and I think Harvey might have a case to answer.
So Harvey back to Swallow. Hate to bring it up, but the last time Boomer played in the final, he got 6. Not suggesting that's going to happen. Cunnington, Dal Santo, back to Harvey. Notice the quarter-time thing. He spoke to the umpire after the quarter-time break about that, but Mackie taken down, good tackle. North, Thomas looking for a high one and in the back, but he has to just about be cut in half, Thomas, to get a free kick these days. And a ball up. So North, if they get the first goal, well, you would think that would be so difficult. It already is for the Cats. McDonald from Selwood, Murdoch.
Holding the ball, just dropped it.
So the two young number 21s.
Just dropped the ball.
Murdoch with a free kick then. He's a left half back.
Play on.
Told to go. Raking kick down towards half forward. Hawkins with strength and a good grab. Hawkins finished the first term in a blaze of glory. Got the Cats back into it. Not his best moment there, though. Poor kick. Ferrito dragged down. Hand passes towards the boundary. Hasn't gone out yet. Still hasn't gone out. Grimer attacked it pretty well and comes away with it. Kicks beyond the wing. Taylor in front of Petrie. And that ball then takes a bit of a U-turn and goes across the boundary line. So it'll be thrown in on the outer side as we begin this second half, and the Cats in trouble.
Haven't scored a goal since quarter time. Geelong 6 behind since then. It's a sensational opening term, 7 goals to 5, and Geelong getting 3 of those very, very late. Good hands right to Cunnington, to Ferrito. Kick to full forward. Brown's being pretty good. Gee, should have got a free kick, surely. And Kelly runs it out. Isn't that a free to the forward?
I think everyone in the stadium thinks so, except the umpire.
I don't think you're allowed to tackle.
He's tackled him.
Look at that.
Yeah, no, that's a free kick, no doubt about that. Geez, he presents up to the ball well. Brown, if you've got the ball and you're North Melbourne mid, you just couldn't help but kick it to him. He just attacks it so hard.
Goldstein and Blitzarves. Harvey just has to search for it. Duncan got rid of him. Dal Santo, good hands to right on the left foot.
Just jabs it down towards the pocket. Turner takes it across the line.
So the great ones in the stadium tonight.
Yes. Stevie J. I didn't say much about that foot other than it was a foot. Then goes Greenwood, tries to knock it goalward. Shrouded in mystery, the injury to Stevie J. Blitzarves is going to be penalised, I think, for holding the footy.
Josh, don't do it. Don't do it. Mark's here.
Goldstein getting the free. But unfortunate there. Ball came back to him. Not sure it was Blitzarves' intention to get the footy. He was the tackler initially. And suddenly the roles reversed and Goldstein gets the free.
Here it is.
Now this is a big kick in the context of the game. 23 currently. Goldstein's hit 1 goal. Just to make it 29 and a long way back. Well, he misses to the near side. Never had it online.
What a game he's playing, though. McIntosh ruled out early in the week. Blitzarves and Walker doing the rucks. Mackie keeping it close to the line. Oh, geez, Swallow and Selwood just absolutely monstered him in the end, and then kicks the ball to Bartel, and then Bartel misses Blitzarves. Gibson, so he's over that average for the year. Back to Greenwood, back to Gibson, just racking up the numbers. Finds the youngster McDonald. What a first-year player he's been. And then kicks to centre half forward. Cunnington couldn't quite. Bartel, that was poor by really poor by Thomas. That was just releases the valve.
Hold there, stay out.
And Jimmy Bartel at half back.
24 points the margin. Bartel. The Cats needing something special. Goes short, dangerous kick. Enright hangs on despite the pressure from Goldstein. Thomas rushes across to man the mark. Goldstein goes and finds a taller player. Enright, meantime, lobs it up towards the wing, and Rivers in front of Wright.
Right there.
Wheels around, sends a very long kick, one that hangs in the air a long time down towards half forward. Roving the pack is Motlop, stripped by Wells. Ferrito stood up in the tackle, taken down by Walker. Del Santo lays it off. Barco arrives quickly. Pressure on Thompson, caused the error. Duncan goes short, half volleyed. Stokes wheels around, in trouble. Run down by Del Santo. Still a live ball though for the Cats. Barco to Duncan. Duncan right on the 50. Manoeuvres nicely, just wide of Hall Smith. Comes back to Caddy. Caddy right on the 50. Can he find a way through? Sort of. Gibson got him at the last minute. And affected the kick, and it bounces out of bounds.
He's playing a hell of a game, Sam Gibson. He averages the 24 disposals, but you can see there he's taken 13 contested possessions. Of his season average, he only averages 5 contested possessions. So he's really having a night out for the Roos.
Great story too. I mean, on a list and Hawthorn for a long time, didn't get a game, and then mature age, Wells held up, ball not out, Geelong pressing hard, well done Hawkins, wheeled his way through, and then Wells put the smother on, Zeeble got Hawkins down, Blitzards, Duncan, good tackling, well done by Del Santo, that was big, but he only gets us as far as Harry. Taylor to put it back in. Big moment here, I reckon. Geelong need the first goal. If they get it, game on. Bartel searching for the right spot. No mark. Ball coming to the back. Goldstein and Ferrito. And a boundary throw in. But North right now, for the moment anyway, with their back pinned to the wall.
Had every player inside 50 then, the Kangaroos, just able to hold the Cats up and making them kick long.
They're being challenged right now, the Kangaroos. Heartening signs for the Cats. Tossed in, Goldstein. Hacked out of there by Motlop, and maybe the pressure released. Out of bounds on the full.
Just no fluency in the Cats game, is there?
No, can't get the ball out in space. They're still comprehensively beaten in the overall disposal count, 230 to 161.
Del Santo out of the back pocket. In from the side, Blitzards. Now Wells in full stride. Cunnington is on the wing. Mackie is closing. Cunnington looks towards the middle. Not a bad kick either. Low down, it's taken by Turner. In fact, it's McDonald who's got it. Drives it long down towards full forward. At the back of the pack, a chance for Black. Handles it to his own advantage. Open goal beckons. And he goes in and nails it. One end to the other.
We're going into half-time in the rooms. The Geelong players were talking about their transition from their offence into defence. And that ball was stuck in their forward line for a couple of minutes. It comes out, and North are able to take it from one end to the other.
Well, starting to build. First goal for Black in his last 4 matches. So
Jared Rivers, thank you.
So he's going to feel a whole lot better about that. Thurlow, good hands. Enright, they've got to play with some real dare here, Geelong. Mackie, still not a goal since Hawkins right at the end of that opening term. Mackie to fall forward. Caddy's been a good target. Ball fisted away by Ferrito. Searching Duncan. Bartel got a high one. Lonigan off a step. Be a hard ball to mark. Who can take it? Walker was a good flyer. Ball at the back. Right held up by Selwood. Hawkins, well done to Selwood. A Caddy goal. Well done. The old firm.
Caddy got the goal, but it was really Hawkins. I mean, just was able to force his way through the tackle to get that over the head handball, keep the ball running forward.
Josh Caddy up to 17 possessions now. Bounce back in the middle. Goldstein charging it again is Caddy. No, it's Guthrie this time. Guthrie given a free kick. Sends it inside the forward 50. Backing himself against the football. Grimer did well. Peeled off first. Still the belief to go forward of Hawkins. Hawkins has been a dominant player in this game. Right to McDonald. Is it left half back? Takes something off the kick to Thompson. 10-7, 6-7. The margin as it was at half-time. Thompson kicks beyond the wing. Working in front, Petrie. Coming back with courage, Brown. Falls to Del Santo. Wonderful poise. Swallow. Smothered off the boot. Well done by Walker. Taken by Cunnington. In trouble. Walker came again. Great second effort. Applied the tackle. Kick bounces down towards the 50. Trying to force it through down there was Turner. Now it's with Del Santo. Del Santo got it from the skipper and puts it through. Wonderful combination down there. Gibson, Swallow and Del Santo.
Such clean hands, Del Santo. The goal was magnificent. There's the cut eye on Selwood, but his hands 30 seconds prior to that on the wing to set the initial play up was just exceptional.
So Brown and Blitzarve, Selwood just willing himself and his team to half forward. Well done, McDonald there against Stokes. So goal for goal a bit in this quarter. Motlop hasn't quite imposed himself to Blitzarve. Good tackle down low on Blitzarve, and that's a win for North. And Brown getting involved as well. I feel like Brown's going to be something, don't you? 4 goals last week. He's got something, this boy.
All the tall young players have to grow into their height and get the strength to match their height. He's doing really well for a young
good energy about him, isn't
it?
it?
Oh, yeah.
He's got the hair of a 50 gamer. Down goes Bartel. His tackle from behind will have a ball up.
If he keeps, I guess, improving on the trajectory he's shown, particularly in the last couple of weeks, it'll make it tough for a Mad Jack Door to cement a spot on this side.
Blitzarve's wide. Selwood trying his heart out to lift his teammates. High ball down towards full forward. Caddy the leaper from behind. Strong tackle on Thompson, got him down. Appealing for the kickers, Duncan, nothing doing. Ferrito rolls out of the pack. He's claimed. And we've got a ball up.
Bastanak, the sub, so... Tim, Richo, do you know something that's happening here? I mean, is he...
Well, he's just taken the vest off. No one. McMillan's the man out.
Okay.
Long.
So free kick to the Cats here.
Shoulder. Go down, straight to him.
So maybe a rookie mistake in the ruck here.
Hands clearly over the shoulder.
And Blitzarves, who gave away a free in the forward back 50 for Geelong early in this quarter, and Goldstein missed the shot. Now has a chance to get it back. Cats have got to take all these, don't they? I mean, they just got to nail them all here.
Just the right arm there over the shoulder.
What a versatile player Blitzarves is turning out to be. He was on the centre wing for a lot of last week. And that one's coming back. Has it got the legs? I think it's a goal. I reckon it's got home. Wright says he's touched it, but it's a goal.
First goal since quarter time. In fact, second goal since quarter time. Here's Swallow, breaks away, goes down towards half forward. Lonigan fights a draw initially, goes back and finds the footy to Rivers. Guthrie is outnumbered, played it brilliantly. Sweeps a hand pass forward, ill-directed though, right, nice gather, goes back inside the forward 50, and a good mark is taken down there by Brown. Off balance, showed good judgment, told to play on, just lobs it to Varco, danger from Harvey. Varco, the better recovery. Harvey was overcommitted, kick up towards the wing on the stretch. Hawkins, he's been valiant.
He's been good, Dennis. He's always looked a chance, hasn't he? He's got a huge presence tonight. Murdoch wanted to go, now does go. First tackle looked high. Gee, that's a sloppy handball. And then Harvey manhandled well by Hawkins. Duncan gets it back. Cats get it forward to the 50. Motlop trying to engineer something. Duncan in hard. Bastanak first real crack at it. Varco, ball nearly out the back. Wright's been good. Whirls needs to go quickly. Terrific tackle, and the ball rolling out. Varco pressing up. I just feel like this is Geelong's chance right now.
He needs to capitalise from this pressure here. Thompson just copying a high one.
Boundary throw in. Margin as it was at half-time, 24 points. Goldstein down towards Bastanak. Selwood right in the midst of things. Clever. Got it to space. Guthrie. Out of bounds on the full. Give the Cats their due. They're throwing everything at North. And North maybe just a hint of self-doubt. Who knows what can happen. They've been a better team by far over the journey tonight. Ackley, haven't called his name too often. Short. Stark contrast to this man, Gibson. 29 possessions now. Go to the opposite back pocket. The mark is taken by Black.
So Black, goal in this quarter. Kick down the line. Ferrito's at the back. Needs a quick release. doesn't get a lot on the handball. Greenwood takes them on really well. That was big to Gibson. That was huge by Greenwood. Gibson goes to Petrie in the pocket. Rivers with him. Rivers and Petrie. Ball trying to get out the back of Petrie. Thomas gets involved. Brown, good stuff. Lonigan. Ball quite not out. Blitzarves, Mackie. Close quarters, Geelong did well. Rivers, Lonigan, back to Walker. Well played, Cats. Got it to Murdoch. Murdoch down the line to Brown. Back to Walker. Great tackle. He's gone, umpire, surely. He has. Great tackle.
Till that last 50 seconds from Sam Gibson, he got the ball at full-back. Ran and delivered the ball inside forward 50, then pushed back defensively, affected the tackle. That's just huge.
Now he's played on, gave it to Wright. Petrie soars above the pack, missed the mark. Blitzarves the crumb. Caddy trying to work it out of there. Across it comes to Thurlow, ran into a dead end. Holding the ball, the call. North with a free kick. Petrie's put himself about on that forward line for North. He's applied some bullocking, strong pressure. And that time, Thurlow didn't know what hit him.
Great back-to-back tackling pressure out on the wing, got them the first turnover and then into their 20-man. The tackles in the forward 50 result in set shots and goals. Just so critical in the end result.
And Tommy makes a great point. How did Sam Gibson continue that running? The length of the ground, then worked back, chased a man, applied a tackle. Inspirational stuff. 31 possessions now for Gibson. Petrie puts it through. That's 4. And that could be a backbreaker.
Well, he has kicked 5 against Geelong. His previous best in a final was 2 goals, Petrie. He's having a massive influence as well. So they get back to that 5-goal margin. Geelong must get the next one again. 50, no. So Selwood just imposes himself, doesn't he? He wills himself. Not a great kick. Thompson was courageous. Harvey on the up. Goldstein, Harvey still running hard, 36 and a bit. That's years of age. Running through the centre. Good kick to Thomas. They're on here. Thomas has quick kicked the full forward. Black's kicked 1. If it sits, he'll kick 2. Can he get it back? Still Black. Greenwood left foot. And well done at the back. So they had a real chance there. Thompson so courageous there.
Biggest lead of the match now. 31 points. Colin Smith just lobs it beyond right half back, in right. Need to take some chances. Duncan runs hard. Kicks down towards half forward. Coming across on the angle. Reading it brilliantly for Rito. Del Santo releases Atley. No chance Brown. Burnt off Atley down towards the 50. Petrie presents. He's gone. He played on. Umpire calls him to play on. Long down towards full forward. That's got to be a free kick, even though it's Thomas. Even though it's Thomas. He was mugged.
No, it was only 95% free kick. He's got to be 100%, Dennis. 100%.
Oh, well, you do these things to yourself.
You do too. And you do bring it on.
And then gives the umpire a spray for not getting one. He's just digging himself further in the ground.
Still got to pay him.
I think he deserved a free kick. Caddy takes the mark.
Absolutely.
I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, Joel Selwood still gets the high free kicks. I mean, that's stiff, I think. Zeeble, good mark. They're on their knees, the Cats. Wells, they've been cut up here. Gibson again. What a match he's playing. Can he deliver the knockout blow by finding somebody? Harvey in the pocket. Ball getting back. Kelly. He's had a tough night, Kelly. Tough final series so far. Caddy to Varco. Varco off a step. Good long kick. Well done, though, by Del Santo. Did really well, right? So the youngsters on, and Del Santo again did really well to get a hand in there. Blitzarves, Caddy must be exhausted. Guthrie, McCarthy down the line. Getting involved, Thurlow, and a boundary throw in.
Thurlow, the sub player. That's a free kick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every day of the week.
I mean,
boundary throw in. Goldstein, Cunnington. Jabs it towards the boundary and runs away from Rivers and goes out of bounds. McMillan. Somber.
Thurlow's off you.
Boundary throw in. Wide of the pack, it's taken by Duncan. Feigns a hand pass into Mines, goes to Motlop. Motlop has a bounce, runs inside the 50, lines up, misses.
It's the kind of play Geelong need from Motlop, but it's really almost the only time tonight where he's been able to take off into space and break it open.
Duncan's working pretty well as well. I mean, he's another that probably not...
They need that from.
Yeah, he's been okay. Just finding it hard to score, aren't they? Just the 2 goals since half-time, since quarter-time.
No, comprehensively beaten all over the ground. It's been, to this point in time, a really impressive performance from the North Melbourne Footy Club.
Goldstein, no one has been bigger or better, have they? He's playing a great final. Full credit to him, too, because he was on a bit of a hiding to nothing in a way tonight, wasn't he? Kick to centre wing. Taylor worked well. Harvey just to Cunnington, to Thompson, and then Thompson winds himself up. Turner's in a good spot here. Ball bouncing. Turner and Selwood. Rivers coming down. Thomas, Harvey. Good stuff, Selwood. Couple of hot heads there. That might be a free to Harvey, I reckon, against Selwood.
Oh, gee.
It's reversed it.
Reverse.
Yeah, it's reversed, and then there was the contact in of the fence from Thomas to Selwood.
Who got the first?
The free kick was to Harvey.
And then there was reversed to Selwood.
Lindsay Thomas, watch this. So
this one here.
You've got to be better than that, don't you?
Yeah, he's... I mean, it's just silly. Harvey's going to have a shot on goal, isn't he? Just giving up so much there, aren't you?
Absolutely nothing to be gained.
No. Lonergan out of defence then. Reaching over the top. Hawkins got a fist on it. McCarthy intended for Holland Smith, but it runs away from him and goes out of bounds.
You don't need to go in and do that.
Selwood in the hands of the trainers again. Just took it all for the team right there. Had conceded a free. Being worked on constantly. And suggest in his third term, Selwood, the ball goes out of bounds.
I guess you might get to a point where you just can't stop the bleeding with Selwood. I mean, he's been cut about so much with Selwood. I mean, we saw the cut over the right eye. I mean, he needs a Bundini Brown, who was the famous cut man for Muhammad Ali. They're hard to stop, and you want him back out there as quickly as you can. Bartel quiets it tonight, Jimmy. So the jumper, is that the third one he's put on? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got twice as many jumpers for the blood rules than the average player.
It's probably the most valuable one when they sell them off at the end of the game too.
Dalsanta, Cunnington, Harvey, and then quickly by Holland Smith, the full forward. Strong mark by Hawkins. And I reckon Lindsay Thomas, if he's got a conscience right now, would be thinking, I've cost my team a bit here.
That's when Tom's at his best, when he uses his body and then turns and attacks the footy. He puts a gap between himself and his opponent.
Well, Duck, only once before has he kicked more than 2 goals in a final. That was famously a coming-out day for him in the grand final against Collingwood. So he hasn't been a big goal scorer in finals. They're hard to get, and a lot of those finals were when he was developing. And that one, is it coming back? No, it's not. She's a big miss. Just can't nail them, Geelong. They've had a few chances. North have certainly had the better of the match, but Cats have missed a few of those.
Right to himself. Runs to the pocket. Takes it outside the 50. Hawkins again reaching over the pack. Couldn't take the mark. Crumbed by Varco. Back to Hawkins, to Brown. Hooks it across the body. It wanders down towards the pocket. Going back down there is right. Over the top of Murdoch. McCarthy got a bad hand pass under pressure. The kick skews off the outside of the boot from Hawkins and goes out of bounds. But, gee, it's not for lack of trying.
2 goals 8 since quarter time, Geelong, and a couple of out of bounds on the full. So very deep now into the third term. Taylor at the back. Took them on, Harry. Couldn't get through.
The tackles have been amazing. They're plus 14 in tackles, North Melbourne. They've had almost 70 more disposals. absolutely murdering Geelong around the footy.
It's a mathematical impossibility almost, isn't it? But that could happen. Cunnington getting better as the match goes on. Varco, Goldstein, Swallow, head down. Good decision.
Holding the ball.
Well, that's the one they want to discourage, Lee, isn't it?
You drove your head. That's holding the ball. That becomes your prime opportunity. Time back on.
So Varco
Mine.
takes the chance, and Rivers just gets rid of Black, and Enright pops in and takes the mark.
I think that's fair enough on what we know.
Put your head down, go into the tackle. Yeah, that means the prior opportunity's gone if you don't dispose of the ball. That's to discourage players going head first, because obviously it can be damaging to their own neck spine region.
Enright shot at goal after an exchange that could have seen a North Melbourne free, wasn't paid. Enright's kick looks pretty good. Enright kicks the goal. Half a minute out from three-quarter time. There's still a pulse.
It's been going goal for goal, but obviously Geelong need to do better than that. Every time the Kangaroos look like they get within that goal wicket, if they get 6 goals clear, it's going to be really hard for Geelong to run them down. But Geelong just keep getting the goal, so they snip it away.
It's a test for the maturity of North Melbourne. What they've done well all year is respond outside of breaks, which means that they, I think, respond well to coaching instructions, but they need to sense their moments within games, and they've had opportunities, particularly in this quarter, where they've had the run of the game to put some yardage on Geelong on the scoreboard, but just hanging in there, as Den said, there's a pulse for the Cats.
Big half minute, isn't it? I mean, if Geelong could conjure a goal here, the whole world would change for them. But Cunnington won the clearance. Stokes takes the mark, though.
2 metres, Jack.
So Zeeble, Geelong running the gauntlet. Enright, the goal kicker. Young McDonald, well done, got back, took the mark. And North have averted a calamitous finish to the third term. So they'll be okay here. It'll be a 4-goal margin, as it was at half-time. It's going to take Geelong at its very best to peg that back. So that's the scene at three-quarter time. Brent Harvey and Joel Selwood, two of the key players. Selwood already with that jumper ripped again on his third. Harvey, 4th most games ever played, equals Robert Harvey tonight. North lead by 4 goals. It's 81-57 at three-quarter time in the semi-final of the MCG.
Welcome back to the MCG. The Roos in control here, leading by 4 goals at three-quarter time. Richo, what do the Cats need to do to get themselves back into this game?
Well, they just haven't been able to get their hands on the footy. First and foremost, they have to do that in the middle. They need to get those pacey half-forwards into the game. Stokes, Motlop, Varco, Murdoch. If they can start getting some of the ball in transition, maybe, just maybe, they can pin back this lead. They're a great team, we know that.
And just on the Harvey bump on Selwood, I can tell you too that the umpires have made an incident referral notice. Now that means that that incident will be shown to the match review panel for assessment. He does have a 10% loading. It's worth reminding ourselves about this because of a 3-game suspension 4 weeks ago. So I get the feeling this is going to be one of the stories that comes out of this game.
Thanks, Tim. So Geelong have never come from this far back in any final to win. It's only been done 4 times historically, twice 24 points, 1 at 26, and 28 is the biggest ever, and that was back in the 1940s at Carlton Collingwood. North haven't lost a game when leading at half-time this year or when leading at three-quarter time. So it's stacked against the Cats, but I think we all feel there's still a chance.
4-goal margin. The Kangaroos have to avoid that. We should win the game from here and tightening up with that kind of emotion.
Start of the final term in the second semi-final. On the way down, Blixarp's won it. Can't get out of there. Held to him. Get a couple of goals. 12 points is a nervous margin, isn't it?
Absolutely. Just got to roll the dice here, the Cats, and all-out attack.
Caddy attacks the football, does well, knocks it to his own advantage. He's away, kicks inside the forward 50. Hawkins stays off the contest. It pitches in front of McCarthy. The young sharpshooter pulls it back towards full forward. Walker is going to get a free kick and or mark. He's paid the mark.
Inside the square.
He said mark.
Time back on.
Walker. Yeah, that's good enough.
He controlled the ball, then there's a delay before it's punched out.
Good explanation. Walker missed a sitter in the second term. At this angle means he should kick it, and he does. He's got 3. So the start they needed.
Hey, mate. Hey. What's for lunch? Oh. Don't know. Yeah. Oh. Tastes like chicken. Yeah.
Switch your car insurance and Amy Flexi Premiums could save you an average of $372 off your new policy.
So the Cats getting some support around the country right now. There's a bit of belief out there. They're within a tantalising 3 goals. North, not easy to be front runners sometimes. It's a bit nervy. They cannot play defensively here, North. They're not a good defensive team. I know they've kept scores down this year, but you always feel nervous when they get careful. So Zeeble very forward here. A 1-out situation. Swallow. Well done, Dal Santo. Hooking back to full forward. Kelly getting away from Thomas. And then that kick down the line. Good stuff there by Thompson. Cunnington on the up, gets it back to right, back to Harvey.
Harvey forward of the wing, goes down towards half forward. Del Santo, such a good player. Meters in the clear, goes short, low down, Black.
He's good with ball in hand, good by feet, good kick. Del Santo, he just keeps finding the target.
So classy.
And just the spread away from, this is the end result of Del Santo getting the uncontested mark, but the spread from the stoppage, and he's just been such a fine acquisition for North Melbourne, really complementing the younger players and the grunt of Cunnington and Greenwood.
28 possessions tonight for Nick Del Santo. Black on the clock. This would be the response they need. A quick answer. Kick is on the way. It's going right to left and it's missed. 82 plays 63.
Just thinking, Wayne, former number 35 would be looking on with interest in North Melbourne, wouldn't he, John Longmire?
Yeah, saw him in the crowd, Bruce. He'd be watching this very closely. And you're right, the Kangaroos have to continue to attack. If they go too defensive, that'll play right into Geelong's hands.
Well, if they kick 15 goals, they'll win. So they need to kick 3 goals in the last quarter. Harvey doing the scraps, well done. Greenwood back to Harvey. Harvey, lovely kick to Thomas. This will be a tricky kick for him, though, in the pocket.
You want to get near him so he can't just play on him. Get the extra arc if you're a Geelong player. He's got a lot of space to his right just there.
He often slants his kicks from right to left. Probably not deliberately, that's just his natural kicking action. So
3 goals in the opening term, Lee, and none since. Yeah. I mean, Buddy from here, you sort of like a bit, don't you?
He often kicks the ball that right to left slant, Franklin, but sometimes Thomas does the same.
Well, he's got to get the journey for a start, Thomas. This is a fair trip for him, I would have thought. And he get the distance for a start. He gets close to the man on the mark, and he kicks to the front of the goal. Oh, mark taken.
Mark's here. Time's gone, come around.
Well, Wayne, we've talked a lot about Black. No goals in the 3 matches coming in, 1 here, and suddenly he imposes himself late in the match.
No, he's had a really quiet year, had a quiet final last week, and really important kick, this one for him.
Left foot across the body's going.
And misses. So he's missed a couple of big chances here.
Sometimes you wonder, don't you? Maybe just aligning yourself with a goal and coming in straight there. Wise after the event. Mackie looks straight up the middle. Daring kick. Almost the mark. Free kick is paid. It'll go to Duncan.
Thanks, Brent.
May have paid the mark, but Duncan's got the ball at centre-half back. Wants to move it quickly. But spotted Taylor out towards the boundary. Gives it to him. The defensive side of left centre wing. Harry touches it down. High ball inside the forward 50. Oh, surrounded. Hawkins marks on his chest. Just fell in there.
Conversion efficiency. Kangaroos have missed a couple. down the other end now. Hawkins has a chance to really put the jitters up if he can nail this.
This is wonderful judgment. Just clearing Reimer out. Knew where the ball was going to land, and he was the beneficiary.
Well, if he kicks it, Lee, what it does is it puts the Kangaroos in two minds. What do we do? Do we continue to attack? Do we defend?
He's played a heck of a game. He's been at 2 goals. That doesn't say how hard he has worked. It's out to the right. It's trying to come back. It doesn't. Minor score. The exchange behind.
Johnny Longmire. So you feel like he's had a 5-goal game tonight, Hawkins, don't you? But he's just kicked the 2.
Silvani's out for a night too.
Del Santo, not only big disposals, but a huge number of kicks for him tonight. This is his 17th kick, Del Santo. Not sure if he's wasted one yet. He's kicked the ball beautifully tonight. That one to half-back, Cunnington pushing, and Guthrie to get it.
Guthrie.
And North suddenly are blinded by the lights, I reckon. And then Guthrie just sits it up. And well done for Rito, building it away.
It's a huge test for the maturity of North Melbourne here. They've impressed everyone that's come to the game. Here's the push, no doubt about that, the right hand in the back of Guthrie. But if they're going to be a good side in the future, they need to take this opportunity and progress through to the preliminary final.
Thompson in the back pocket. Forward. Atley. Confronted by Walker. Swallow. Bearing down Selwood. Opportunity for Hall & Smith. Looks back towards the corridor. Lobs it. Harvey will be the first to arrive. Gathers it. Del Santo quickly. Luckily to Gibson. So often tonight, the right man in the right spot. Harvey runs the outer side. Clever kick. Bastanak thinks about giving it off. They stay off him. Del Santo, moments ago, had it in the defensive goal square. Has a bounce. Left half forward. Searing kick. Thomas couldn't hang on. Reaching over the top is Kelly. They battle for it. Whistle. Ball up.
In the back.
Del Santo is continuing, isn't he, to have an influence here.
The work rate of those midfielders, Bruce, for North Melbourne, really running through the length of the field unopposed. Del Santo's done it all night. He's had the 31 disposals, and Gibson, they've been the 2, and Harvey's got his fair share of uncontested ball too.
It's a 3-goal game. Just feels closer than that right now. Blitzarves and Goldstein. Guthrie tapping it back. Kelly got it from Stokes. These great experienced Geelong players, but that's a terrible kick to Wells. And then Wells brilliantly to the kid. Yep, Turner. Haven't seen him have a set shot from here. Now Wells wants it, gets it, loads it up. Not going to be a goal. It's not a good kick. And Geelong take the mark. Can't find the knockout blow right now, the Kangas.
No. Total disposals, 314 North, 235 Geelong. And the game's still in the balance. Goldstein takes a powerful mark. He's about 65 metres from goal to Harvey. Harvey sends it in. Close to the boundary line. Stepping around in front, almost the mark to Zeeble. Will it go the other way to Lonigan? No, the umpire says throw it in. So they fought a draw.
Gee, it was a good effort by both, wasn't it?
Yeah, good decision in the end.
Lonigan deciding not to spoil. So Blitzarves and Goldstein, Caddy been fantastic. Motlop looked dangerous for a while in that 3rd and 2nd terms. Hawkins, well done that time. Grimer, Varco on the up. Stokes, I think he's gone. Harvey lifting here, isn't he?
Yep.
Right up now. Thanks, Matthew.
It'll be a big talking point about Boomer at the end of the match.
Back on your line, please.
As to whether or not he comes under the match review. What's he up to, Harvey? 22, 23 now.
Yep.
So he goes very short. Good kick.
Jim, that'll do. Thank you.
So Gibson, a remarkable night for him. 34th disposal. Just sits it up. Zeeble flying hard. Front spot was Walker. Del Santo, Black. And I think he's kicked his 3rd behind in the final term. So he, a 3rd quarter goal, and now 3 points to Black in the last quarter.
Duncan to bring it in. searching for something.
Hey.
Blixarves is the target. The ball arrives in time.
Interference. Hold there. Thanks, Lindsay.
The athletic big man across half back then. Again, wants somebody to offer some movement. A lot of tired players out there. Swallow came to the ball. It was a tired kick, and Swallow's taken the mark.
Yeah, there's not much movement. That's the problem for Geelong at the moment. They need to roll the dice, but no one covering the ground well.
Lurking behind Zeeble. It was intended for Brown, but cleared his head and getting into that vacuum behind the leading player. The mark was taken by Jack Zeeble.
He relishes this, the real pressure kick. Zeeble got a good kicking technique, and I think he just likes the moment.
Kicks are 3D. And that time, Zeeble realised it was going to carry the leading player. And so much now riding on this kick. Steps inside the 50. Starts it right. It's bending back. That is a beautiful kick. That could be a decider. Certainly it's a body blow.
Well done, Lee. That was a great call by you. I mean, you talked about him seizing the moment, having the technique to deliver, and now Geelong's task seems to be, well, almost beyond them. But it is Geelong. They're a remarkable footy club, a remarkable team. Greenwood out of the centre. They can't afford another one, though. Thomas lurking. He should finish it here. He should put them to the sword, and he doesn't. He misses, and that sums up his night a bit. It's been a 3-goal, 3 night. It could have been massive, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Brown to bring it in. Straight down the middle now. Bartel launches himself. Didn't put the arms up, though. Batley's going to get a free kick in there.
Against you, Joel. High. Straight to him, please.
Joel Selwood gives away the free kick, but gee, he hasn't given too much up easily tonight. Greenwood, it can be a raking kick. Very important late last week, and that's a telling kick. Took something off it, and Zeeble a chance to go back-to-back.
The development of Gibson and Cunnington and Greenwood has enabled Brad Scott to use Zeeble as a forward, and he was huge against the Crows late in the year to cement a final spot, and he's had a big night again tonight.
It's a hard matchup, isn't he? Because he's got a bit of size. He's a bad matchup for Barco, but he's probably a bit too agile to play key position defender on.
He's played all his junior footy as a centre-half forward.
Just over 10 minutes to go, and you get the feeling their future's been taken out of their own hands, the Cats. It's on the boot of Jack Zeeble, but he puts it through.
Geez, technique's sound, isn't it?
Beautiful kick.
He'll play his 100th game next week.
It's been around forever, it seems like.
Yeah, I think they're on their way, don't you?
No, certainly are.
So North Melbourne here. 5 goals up. Brown, Greenwood out of the centre to full forward. Zeeble again lurking. Petrie has been such a part of this North Melbourne lead throughout the night. Petrie and Swallow, Taylor, I'd say, and off. Gibson might be out on the fall. No, a boundary throw-in.
Who's kicked? Geelong kick?
No, it is out on the fall. So back to Taylor.
Outside the line.
So the Cats have got to kick 6 goals to win.
Start outside line now.
And they've kicked 4 since half-time. Harry waiting for the ball to come back. Ample time now for everything to be covered downfield. Not everything. Mackie just behind the man on the mark. Mackie sends it towards the wing, off hands. Murdoch goes back. Greenwood having a good 10 minutes. Del Santo, Thompson cuts a swathe, sends it long back towards half forward. Over the top, Lonigan, good grab. Off he goes, Lonigan to midfield, Duncan. Everything needs to fall into place now for the Cats. Duncan in 2 minds, looking for Hawkins. Well, he repels Borders, turned around, gave Thompson a shove, and then went back and did his business.
Scott, here. Thank you.
Hawkins, if they're to have any hope. Now, the young fella Turner was on his knees. Didn't see what happened. Lee, you did?
The umpire did too, but the umpire was 5 metres away and ignored it.
Well, there must be something about that end. There goes the kick. I think he's got it. He's got 3, Tom. That was a huge kick.
So Hawkins with his third goal, and Geelong still with the time to do something, but everything. It would be a fairy tale finish. Blitzarves, Goldstein, Caddy been wonderful. Mackie running hard, not a good kick. Wright's been very impressive. Greenwood's had a really big year, but good tackle by McCarthy. And now Motlop goes for goal. And Ferrito's a goal, I think. Touch right on the line. Gee, that got so close. And Ferrito just with the presence here. Great angle, and gee, by the bare centimetre, eh?
And that is a confident goal umpire. We like that. Yep. McDonald out of the back pocket. High ball. Coming back with wonderful courage is Enright. Game on the line. The veteran is going to get a free kick, and rightly so. Taken high.
Thank you.
Enright works back off the mark. No time to waste. Looks inside the forward 50. Pumps it back in. Camped in front is Wells. Holding the ball against Thompson. Free kick Hawkins. He'll line up at his fourth. They just keep coming back.
If he wants to lead, you can't have two hands. No, 2 hands on his waist, you're holding him back.
So this to pull the margin under 20 points with 7.5 minutes to go. Tom Hawkins. One of the best games I think I've seen him play. He's been terrific tonight. Big lump of a man. Big kick.
So he's found his accuracy. It felt like a 5-goal game. He's got 4, 67 for the year. That's what Cam Mooney did, but no one's done more than that since the great Gary Ablett in the mid-90s for the Cats. They get back within some sort of striking range. Good smother by Selwood. On Gibson. Next couple of minutes really exciting here. Selwood to Enright. Just missed Duncan. Enright tries to run down Cunnington. Greenwood out wide to Goldstein has been wonderful. Well, running bounce by the big fella to Harvey. Harvey taking off, getting almost within range and doing the right thing and finding Greenwood.
They're still flowing forward, the Kangaroos. All of a sudden the pressure's back on, gets back to 19 points, but once they got the ball on the wing, there was plenty of Kangaroos players pushing forward to get on the end of the kick, and he found one.
He's had a good last quarter, Harvey. Yeah. In fact, a very good last half.
Greenwood too. He's had 9 possessions in this term, Bruce.
15 seconds gone.
Harvey's at 92% efficiency with his disposal. Yeah, Greenwood again. And he's been a goal kicker this year. And that's coming back and hitting the post. So Geelong still with a slight chance. Lee, we always tease you about your famous 3 goals in minutes. They have got time.
Mackie to himself, plays on. Drives it outside the defensive 50. Cunnington launched himself. Crumbed by Murdoch. He's got runners alongside. Drives looking for Hawkins, who pushes back and takes a wonderful mark. How courageous was that? Going back into uncharted waters, tumbling off balance. And the big guy hung on. So Hawkins, tired as he might be, has got to kick this. That's terrific. Had a few shots from about here tonight. He should be pretty familiar with it. Hawkins at number 5. Kick is on the way, never on line. That won't come back. Helped across the line by Goldstein. But the margin is under 20.
So how do North play it from here? Do they continue to play as they have all night, or do they really go possession defensive here?
They can play possession footy provided they continue to move the ball forward. 36 players look like they're out on their legs there, so they're not going to get too much uncontested ball, so they can't just afford to go sideways because they will turn the ball over.
Can Petrie take a mark to help? No, Taylor does. So Geelong keep the pressure up. Taylor gets back to full forward. Getting back is Hawkins, isn't it? Oh, what a mark! What a quarter he's playing, even Stevie J and Gary Ablett. So how did he do that? Comes back and kicks his 5th, and Geelong are a chance.
Yeah, it's a big night, big numbers across the board. 8 marks inside 50, contested marks, disposals, 8 shots on goal. More than a sniff here, the Cats.
And still time enough. Goldstein.
Geelong. Yeah, it's right here.
Heck.
Straight to him.
Flicks arms, demanding the footy. Sends it in again, no doubt. Hawkins will be the target. Well, he's wrestling in there. It still comes to him. Heard the voice, goes to Murdoch, pats it down. Stokes in clear air. Bastanak smothered the football. Chance for Motlop, surrounded by Blue. Tries to get out of there. Clinging on for desperation was McDonald. We'll have a ball up.
7 minutes ago, they trailed by 32 points, Geelong. A goal here, and you reckon they're almost an even money chance. Caddy, Guthrie, McCarthy's going to kick it. Geelong are coming so hard. The sub.
Oh.
I believe it's touched.
Oh, okay.
Score review. Umpire's call is touched.
So the call is touched here. So this is their vision. This is the AFL official review vision.
Sam, you're going to have to wait until I give it all clear. If it's a point, just wait.
So our slow-mos. What do you think, Tom?
Oh, geez, it's hard to tell. I mean, it's umpire's call, but is there...
Yeah.
Comes up the inside
forearm
the arm,
there,
probably.
Yeah. He must have heard it. I mean, that's the only...
It's a good get.
Yeah, well, he's made the call and it's not definitively not touched.
Review completed. Confirmed touched.
Okay, so... And behind to McCarthy. What a difference.
The small things matter, don't they? Right, outside the 50. Bartel. Del Santo got the crumb, though. Close to the boundary line, Wells.
Game of interest, isn't it? If that had been out of bounds on the full, but he just marked it.
Petrie with conviction. Comes hard at Wells, takes the mark. Inside the last 4 minutes now. The margin, 2 straight kicks. Still a chance at extra time, perhaps. Petrie sends it down towards half-forward. Goldstein launches himself. Cunnington behind. Scuttles away, 60 metres out. Thomas, don't play for a kick. Go for the footy, son. Here's a chance for Swallow. Found a way through. Slick hands. McDonald, presence of mind. Goes back to Thompson. Good thinking by the youngster.
Wasn't it great poise by McDonald, then the one-step kick to hit the target.
Thompson, little slyly, kicks it down towards the pocket, intended for Thomas, taken away by Motlop. To the run of Caddy, and the Cats are on the move again. Caddy, one bounce. Decides to kick now, releases the ball to guess who? Hawkins has got it.
And running on strongly, Stokes, inside the 50. Stokes, does he go for goal? He sets it up, Bartel. Yes, Jimmy.
No, he paid it.
Michael.
Wow.
Remember, Geelong don't lose the close ones. They're 7-0 with games inside 2 goals this year. Haven't lost a close one all year. This to get them within a kick. You couldn't think of a better bloke to have the ball right now.
No, not from this position.
He's got it. They're within a goal. A grandstand finish. The Twins, we can hardly separate them. 3 minutes apart at birth. Well, right now, 6 points apart.
Just Lindsay Thomas lost his feet at the crucial contest down the other end. Stevie Motlop kept his feet and on the burst. Hawkins, his work rate. If you just watch him here pushing up, Grime as his direct opponent just draws the footy.
Wayne, who has to stand up for North now?
Oh, look, I think obviously this is why they've got Del Santo to the footy club. I think he has to stand up. Zeebel's gone into the middle of the ground, and obviously their captain, Swallow, who's imposed himself over the last couple of weeks. But I think those 3 in the middle of the ground.
10 minutes ago, North Melbourne led by 32 points. Closest they've been since the 6-minute mark of the term. Chance now for Zeeble. Paddles it to his own advantage, at least initially. Comes back towards Hall and Smith knocks it forward. Selwood flicks it out of the pack. Barco to Mackie. Mackie miscues with a kick. Wanders down towards the pocket. Coming at it, Grimer. Content to run it across the boundary line. Still over 2 minutes to go. The margin, 1 straight kick. What a comeback by the Cats.
Could it be something if the Twins have a draw here? Extra time? See, North, you feel like they have to score now to win.
Yeah, they just about do, yep.
Feel like they've got to get something on the board to win. Hall and Smith could tackle Zeeble. Ball not quite out, Blitzarves. Pressure on the umpires here as well.
Yeah, can't afford a sloppy, cheap free kick here, North Melbourne.
So where can North get the run out of defence here? Geelong have been brilliant. Selwood hooking back to full forward. Where's Hawkins? The big fly. Ball to the front. Little give by McDonald was good. Grimer, he's had a shaky final term. Back to Wells. Terrible handball. That's delivered out of bounds. Stepped over the line. Anyway, boundary throw in.
So boundary throw in. 6 points the margin.
Look for Bartel, look for Selwood.
Blitzarves locks up there. Goldstein tries to paddle it wide of the pack. It's going to be a North free kick. Now, the last time a side went out in straight sets from the finals under the current method was 07. The West Coast Eagles went out. They lost to Collingwood in extra time.
We were there, Dan. It was in Perth on a Friday night.
Was I there?
Yeah, you called brilliantly.
That's reassuring.
I remember watching, we were playing the winner the following week in the prelim in 07.
So Turner out of the back pocket. Sends a long ball, a very high one towards the wing. Over the top, Brown slapped it down. Del Santo sends it towards half forward. Still over a minute to play. Thomas needed to go at the football. Kelly did. Comes away. Sends it back towards half forward. Awkward bounce for Bartel. Up high Guthrie to Selwood. Brilliantly done by Turner. Smothered the kick. The youngsters in there. Guthrie, though, snatches it away from Brown. In goes Del Santo. Head down. Guthrie can't find a way through. Waiting was Brown. Will have a ball up. 1 minute to play.
He's the one forward player for North Melbourne, Tom. He has to keep his feet, make sure he makes the contest if the ball gets to that part of the ground.
Hold the ball.
Gee, that's a huge call.
Drop kick. Drop kick. A drop kick. No.
A drop kick. Aren't you allowed to do a drop kick?
Ben.
Yeah, it's a good point.
No, I can see what he means. The ball dropped down. But so Geelong with a massive chance here. Stokes to the pocket. Hawkins just underneath. Ferrito probably wants the line and he gets it, and a boundary throw in. So still plenty of time for the Cats. They've been good late in these quarters. What a remarkable finish. Hawkins, 3 goals in the last term. Geelong coming hard.
His numbers around the contest. Can't afford just to blaze the ball away, North Melbourne.
In front, Goldstein slaps it down. Swallow trying to get out of there. Goes with the outside of the boot. Big call now. Deliberate. Free kick for the Cats.
Taylor's gone deep.
Long ball comes in, wasting no time from Mackie. Big pack at the drop. And as he started, perhaps so does he finish. Goldstein standing tall in a pack to take the mark. Goes short to Zeeble. We're down to 20 seconds. Short. Del Santo told to play on, backs off, but he stayed in bounds. That was lucky. Drives it up towards the wing. Good mark going back, Brown.
He's got to go.
8 seconds. Short one. Mark is taken out there by Mackie.
And the siren's going to sound, and North Melbourne are going to be into the preliminary final. What a match.
Woo. What a contest.
A remarkable finish. First prelim since 2007.
North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me.
Well, they've had one 6-point final before, the 1994 prelim final. Ablett after the siren. Gee, they know how to play in a thriller, North Melbourne. Think the last Saturday night, and again tonight. They did it so differently tonight. Down to you, Tim.
I'm here with Boom. That got a bit tighter than you thought in the last quarter, I'm sure.
Oh, Tim. It's a great comeback by the Cats, but hey, 6 points. Well, I was cramping in the end. The boys are on the bench, and Mate, it's an amazing feeling. We're off to a prelim. It's great for our football club.
You must be really proud of this young group of players.
Sorry?
You must be really proud of this young group of players.
Mate, I can't hear the crowds. Amazing. I am, mate. And I was out for 3 weeks sitting in the coach's box watching it. And just to see the way they go about their football and the way they prepare during the week, mate, it's credit to them. They're Kane Turner, the list goes on. Sam Gibson was exceptional tonight. Mate, it's a good team going places.
And some anxious moments over the last 3 weeks as well for you?
Mate, the first 2 weeks weren't too bad because, we're probably going to make the finals, but last week, do or die, and then tonight, oh, mate, I'm so pumped at the minute.
There may be another anxious moment for you after this game too. There's a bit of a bump on Selwood. Are you aware of that and the fact that there was high contact?
Got a little bit of a bump on my head. I think I was bleeding as well. Selwood went off the blood rule, so mate, just a clash of bodies. I'm not too sure what happened.
Okay, go and enjoy the victory.
Thanks, Tim.
You mentioned Kane Turner. There's one stat that's revealing about that kid tonight.
Yeah, the 9 tackles. He's had more tackles than any other player, the youngest player in the field, and had the fantastic smother late in the game too.
Down to you, Matthew.
Well, Drewy, tense final moments there. The big ruckman comes back, Gold. He probably started off the game for you when they did at the end.
Yeah, I think he was pretty excited about the opportunity that fronted him tonight, given big Hamish McIntosh was out, and it was a sort of, it wasn't a grand final, but it was almost Leo Barry-like at the end there. He's been great all year, Goldie.
What about you, Drewy? Harry Taylor drifted forward at the end there. You were playing as a defender.
Yeah.
Pretty nervous, I reckon.
Very nervous, especially after Paddy Ryder got that one on me last week. Harry's one of the best marks in the comp. Yeah, I was worried, to say it politely.
Once again, mate, you had a player probably step up and play one of his best games in a final. Last week it was Greenwood, tonight Gibson.
Yeah, I saw he had 14 touches in the first quarter, and work rate's outstanding. He runs the most kilometres every single week. Doesn't get much recognition, but internally we love him. He just runs up and back all day.
Big challenge now next week. You're into a prelim final. That's a great feeling, and off to play the Swannies.
Yeah, they're a tough side to play anywhere. They're just about in the best form they've been all year, the Swannies. They started a little slow, and we pinched to win up there in about round 4 against them, but they've hit their straps since, and it'll be on, what are we playing, Friday night or Saturday night, do we know yet?
Yeah, Friday night footy. Just before Timmy has a chat to Jack Zeeb, I'll spit it out eventually. He's been great. He was good up forward. 2 big goals at the start of that last quarter.
Yeah, Zeeb's, he's really worked well in the forward line. Adds another string to his bow. Ben Cunnington's played deep as a forward. Just means those blokes can spend more time on the ground and not on the bench. And as you saw, he's a really good contested mark.
Yeah, well done, Drew. And over to you, Timmy.
Here with Jack Zeeble. Jack, 2 last quarter goals, came off the boot beautifully.
Yeah, it was nice to get a couple, but yeah, obviously it was a bit disappointing letting them back in the game in the last quarter there, but yeah, no, it's good to get the result. It's pretty positive for the boys. A good move too for you to get forward a little bit more often? Yeah, I enjoyed it a little bit up there. I played my junior footy up forward, so try and make the most of opportunities when I get up there, and it's nice when you've got Big Drewy and Brownie taking the best 2 defenders as well. Looking forward to going to Sydney next week? Can't wait, mate. It's into the prelim, we're pretty excited. A lot of people have been waiting a long time for this team to actually really bloom as a group. Do you think it's starting to happen now? Yeah, I think so. I said before that we haven't really had our full team on the park this year, with Wellesley, Andrew Swallow obviously missing big chunks of the season, but it's really positive to get them on the park along with Boomer tonight and really play some quality footy, so hopefully we can get that done over the next week as well. A lot of North fans here tonight enjoying this too. Oh, it's brilliant, mate. It probably hasn't been it's been a while since we packed the G out, so it's great to see the Blue and White Army, and we're having a ball. Got you, Jack.
One thing about North Melbourne we shouldn't forget, they're unbeaten against the other 4 teams left in the comp. They're 1-0 against Hawthorn, Fremantle, Port Adelaide, and they beat Sydney in Sydney. I mean, no other team could ever boast stats like this from outside the top 4. It's quite remarkable.
No, they shouldn't fear any of those sides, the fact that they've beaten them before, and they're in good form, and they have been for a good 4 or 5 weeks now, the Kangaroos.
Duck, let's go down, because Richo's got, I reckon, just about the man of the moment, Richo, and there are a few, but you've got him.
Boomer's pretty happy with the grab, Goldie, but he's right, mate, it was a ripper.
Oh, just right place at the right time. It was they were coming hard, and yeah, I just can't believe we got up in the end.
It's pretty nerve-wracking there at the end. It's hard to stop momentum in a game, but especially in a final like this, it must have been really nervous.
Yeah, and we know they're an unbelievable side. We knew they were going to come for us, and it was just, thank God we held on. Thank God we held on.
Drew said you were really looking forward to this game, the opportunity, McIntosh not playing, and you certainly made the most of it.
Yeah, it's all I played my role, and that's all. Hopefully that's all I did. So I'm just glad we got the win.
Well, you're going to sing the song loud, mate. Well done.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
Geez, a great response, Wayne. I mean, you're the greatest players ever played for them. I mean, this is fantastic seeing the North Melbourne fans here.
It is. It's been a long time since the Kangaroos and the Kangaroo fans have seen their side in a preliminary final.
And you guys were involved in 7 consecutive prelims through those 1990s, and yet only one since then in 2007.
That's right. And it just goes to show you that you have to cherish them and you have to make the most of your opportunities, because you never know when the next one will come along. So I'm sure they will next week.
And even though they fell over the line, Lee, I feel like they're still dangerous. I reckon they're a dangerous team.
Well, that number before, all year, the thing about it is they kept betting in the top sides, but dropped a few to sides below them. So that's obviously they finished, what was it, 6, wasn't it, after the home and away series. It means they're capable of playing footy to beat the very best. Makes them very dangerous.
So Sydney next week, well, you don't take on anything much bigger than that right now, do you? But this will be sung with a lot of gusto for sure. So for just the second time, they win 6 in a row under Brad Scott. And to be honest, it's not even the highlight of his week, but it's pretty good, isn't it? Because he became a dad, and for Joel Selwood, well, that tells a tale. What a warrior he is. What a match it turned out to be. North Melbourne by 6 points over Geelong. They're through to the preliminary final. Plenty more still to come, including the press conferences from the MCG.